With over 70 years experience, Interstate McBee is a leader in the heavy-duty diesel engine parts industry. And as an authorized dealer for over 20 years, we've been serving customers with those high-quality parts, gasket kits, water and oil pumps, turbos, fuel injectors, heads, in-frame kits, and at a great price, too. Reach us at discountdiesel.ca and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
In for the Bruins. Now the lead pass moving in on him.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
He had 43 yards all night. He gets 41 there, the longest play of the game on either side. Shoulder, pump fake, end zone. It is caught for the touchdown, Devontae Smith. Took it away from Evan Williams.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
And they're going to get McDavid and Draisaitl off the ice here for the Blue Jackets. Orensky for Charlie Clay. What a save. Skip. Coast to coast. With the game on the stick.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 539, Wednesday, November the 12th. Hope everybody had a great Remembrance Day yesterday and maybe took in a service or just maybe watched on TV or whatever the case may be. But I hope you had a great Tuesday. And back at her here at Sports 1440. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive. Wherever you're heading out this Wednesday morning, again, fabulous weather for outdoor ceremony yesterday across the city. Great weather today, continuing on for the rest of the week. Hey, so glad you're with us. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would really appreciate that. Also on X, Facebook, and Instagram. And as always, we're streaming on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, and even on sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show, it turns into one of the many, many podcasts that are out there. Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Just subscribe there as well. Select the auto download. It's free. It's much appreciated if you do that as well. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yeah, so glad you could tune in on a Wednesday morning. It doesn't feel like Wednesday, does it? When you have a sort of a day off in the middle of the week, it's just one of those days and where it doesn't feel like a Wednesday. Kind of had that same feeling a couple weeks ago, I guess, with Truth and Reconciliation on the same day on a Tuesday when we were off. So similar. I was at the Calder cenotaph yesterday morning. Just a fabulous ceremony for Remembrance Day. The community had never been to that one before. Usually we just go to the one here in the mall because of, if it's a little chillier, some people can't brave the elements, and I'm one of those wussies. So, but went outside because it was just an outstanding weather yesterday, and great to see, everybody there, veterans and, even, the cadets and everyone marching down in the Calder area. It was really cool. And then they had a nice little ceremony and, public speakers and things like that. And then they had obviously the wreaths that were put down at the cenotaph. So really good, really cool. And thanks to everybody in the Calder community for putting just a great show. And I didn't know about the one in Beverly, which is the oldest one, until just doing a little research on where we were going to go. And Beverly was before Edmonton City Hall because they started doing it back in 1920, before that they had anything here like down at City Hall and things like in that area. Beverly was the very first one. So really cool. Anyway, Edmonton Oilers in action tonight in Philadelphia to kick off this really, really 7-game road trip. So the Oilers embarked on it yesterday afternoon, traveling all the way out to Philadelphia. They'll take on the Flyers tonight. Oilers with that massive win on Monday night against Columbus in overtime to improve to 7-6-4. The Flyers come in at 8-5-2. When you think about that game on Monday night, and there was so much pressure on the team to win after what had happened on Saturday, because when you get, humiliated and embarrassed on home ice like they did, courtesy the Colorado Avalanche, you're thinking there's going to be a response. You're thinking that, but there's so much pressure on a team because they're under the microscope. And it's sometimes when you look at that game, you almost look at it like they're playing not to lose the game instead of trying to win it, because you just don't want to make any mistake, because who knows what could cost you. But Connor McDavid, unreal performance. Everyone's talking about the spinorama backhand goal. Kudos to Trent Frederick for dropping the flippers with Olivier. That's up 2 weight classes for sure for Frederick. We talked about it on Monday. Would this happen? Could he get involved in that? Would he be doing? We had texters saying, man, not a chance. No way. Why would he do that? Like, why? There's no way that he's going to, go looking for Olivier, but he did. And full marks to Frederick for dropping the mitts, because that ain't easy, man. When you're going up against a guy that is, again, a couple of weight classes up, that ain't easy. So 5-4 Oilers win it in overtime. You know what's funny? When you look at the standings, is everything upside down or what? There's probably, you could look in the Eastern Conference, and most notably the Atlantic Division. If you were to say that right now, Montreal, Boston, and Ottawa are the 3 teams in the Atlantic that are leading the way, that are in a playoff position. In the top 3 in the Atlantic right now, you'd go, come on, you got to be kidding me. Because when you look at the whole conference, I think a lot of people think the Rangers are going to be in the mix here. The Capitals, obviously, last year. Florida, Toronto Maple Leafs. Those are 4 teams that are below the cut line right now. Everything's all wacky. Leafs lose again last night to the Boston Bruins. 7 straight wins for the Bees. We discussed this on Monday. It feels like last week. But again, the hottest team in the West was Anaheim. They lost last night. The hottest team in the East, Boston Bruins. But there's 4 teams right now below the cut line that you'd go, whoa. One of them, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we compared the Leafs to what's going on right here in Edmonton, because there are so many similarities. Austin Matthews banged up. Stolarz banged up last night. When you look at where the Leafs are and how they've come out of the gates here, and it's more than coming out of the gates, isn't it? When you played 16, 17 games, it's a lot different. Same thing in the West standings. If you were to say right now in the Pacific Division that Anaheim, the LA Kings, and the Seattle Kraken, those are the 3 teams that are slotted in right now compared to what the other teams are looking on the outside, looking in. Vegas, below the cut line. The Oilers, below the cut line. St. Louis Blues, I think there were more expectations for where the Blues are in the standings, but Minnesota, below the cut line. It is unbelievable. Our text line, 833-401-1440. Get them in. We'll get them on. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Duke. It doesn't feel like it's a Wednesday here, right? But it feels
a pretty cushy landing for me to come back from vacation. I work a day and then being off yesterday for Remembrance Day, and now 3 days to round out the week, and then kind of back full throttle again moving forward thereafter. But
you played hockey last night too?
Yeah, I've got the full-time call-up now. Andrew Walker, who plays in about 9 different weekly drop-in skates, one every night of the week, I think sometimes 2 a days. For Tuesdays, they seem pretty hard for a goaltender, so I got the full-time call-up for at least the rest of this season. Didn't have my best stuff last night, But I mean, hey, it's first skate back after I hadn't touched the ice in a couple weeks at this point.
How was it?
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was all right. I got there early, got a good stretch in, which I think was very important. But I think the one team, the way they split the teams last night, one was a little outmatched. And unfortunately, I fell on that team a couple times. But I didn't have my best stuff either. So it's always just good to get out, get a little exercise in, Kevin, especially when all you did was eat and drink all inclusive for a
Could you
week
feel
straight.
a little of the sweat coming out there or not?
No, I think I got most of that out over the weekend, even though I didn't do anything particularly exerting. It's a rather like as opposed to getting home on say a Sunday afternoon from a vacation and then it's right back into the flow of things. I had a few days to ease back in, kind of get back into routine with watching games all day, NFL Sunday. But I know you'll love this. I'm sure Laddie will be excited to hear about it too. This past Sunday was my last with the premier bachelor setup in the new apartment because the new couch arrives today.
Oh, really?
Yes. Probably when I'm not going to be home, which might throw a wrench into things, but that's just how it goes. Went down to see our good friends at the Brick here in the mall on Saturday and got all lined up. And yeah, it's rolling in today. The current delivery slip says between 8 a.m. and 11. So glad I planned for this. I left the actual apartment door itself unlocked. Okay. And if they call me, I can ring them in the building from my phone. And they can carry on. And hopefully they don't let my cats escape.
What kind of sofa are we looking at here, Duke? Does it got like the ones where you can have the recliners on the end?
No, it is very, very basic, very simple. I'm a simple man also.
Well, plus the cats.
Right? I didn't want to get anything too extravagant with the understanding that they would likely have their way with it. But the important facets for me were to be able to remove the cushion covers, right? So you can wash them and clean them and things like that.
What about on the ends? Where are they going to scratch that?
There is like a post, but I would like to put that call out to the listeners. I know we have many educated and well-versed people. Any tips, ideas about what to do to try and stop them from scratching? I know you can buy like these sprays and stuff like that. I don't know if those really work or not, but I'd love to hear from
some people.
The listenership.
Like even packing tape, Duke.
Yeah, and at least until they know not to do it, and then of course you can take it off. But and I've read stuff about like wrapping it in like like a type of mat and all sorts of different things. But hey, if anybody's got an idea that they've done and has worked, I'm all ears. So
our text line 833-401-1440. Ontario Moms chimes in. All the teams, and we talked about the standings here. Ontario Moms writes, all the teams leading for the most part are teams that had long off seasons. Makes sense that they would get going a lot sooner than teams that played late. I guess he would be talking about Anaheim. I'm sure he would be talking about Boston. There are other teams, though, that like, Montreal and Ottawa obviously made the playoffs. The Metropolitan is kind of the division where, the Devils and Canes are, 1 and 2. Pittsburgh's coming in at number 3. Right now, and sort of had, after a good start, have maybe come back a little bit. But again, like if you look at teams again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but Florida Panthers right now outside, just like the Oilers outside. These are teams that have, especially Florida, 3 straight years that have gone to the Cup final, that have played a lot, and then the injuries. Think about with no Tkachuk, no Barkov. I mean, these are devastating injuries for the entire season for Barkov and a good half a season for Matthew Tkachuk. So these are all things to look at. We're going to talk about the Grey Cup. It's creeping up on us too, Montreal and Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. So all the old stubble jumpers are going to be making the trek from, the Flatlanders to Winnipeg to take over the Peg, from Regina, all over Saskatchewan to support the Green Riders for sure. Saskatchewan's favored by 4 points here. I'm interested to see if that line moves a little bit as the week goes on. But Montreal's got a hell of a team. A lot depends, obviously, with Davis Alexander, his health, had the groin and hammy, everything regarding his leg and things like that. Coming up on the big program, we're going to talk NFL when we come back after our first commercial break with Austin Mock, a regular contributor here on Sports 1440 from The Athletic, covers the NFL. Fair bit of news. I guess the biggest news coming out yesterday and today would be with New York and the Giants and Jameis Winston apparently getting the starting quarterback nod over Russell Wilson. We know what's going on with their number one quarterback in Jackson Dart. I mean, how long he's out for in concussion protocol, who knows? Also, the Thursday nighters, the Jets in New England. Man, right now, New England, the class of the AFC East. I mean, they're a couple of games ahead of the Bills right now and playing really, really well. Mark Spector will be with us at 8 o'clock, his usual slot. We got Kate Patterson, from Frankly Hockey and Victory Plus TV. She'll guest with us at 8:20. David Schlemko, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision, will be by from 9 to 11. The Polish Prince, Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com, will check in at 9:20. And then we got Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network. We'll check in at 10:20. When we come back, it's a little NFL with Austin Mock from The Athletic. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
When you visit a Booster Juice location on November 13th and purchase any regular size smoothie, you get another one free.
No way.
Yes way. We celebrate our birthday every year with a special buy one, get one smoothie offer to show our appreciation for our amazing customers from coast to coast.
I'm ready to celebrate.
Thank you, Canada, for 26 wonderful years. We look forward to serving you not one, but 2 delicious smoothies on November 13th. Conditions apply. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Listen up, because we're about to tell you what nobody else will. There's a serious problem in auto service. The price you expect is almost never the price you pay. Big Toy Shop tells it like it is. No BS, no false inflated bill. It's just the honest service you need, done quickly and done well at a price that doesn't make you feel like a chump. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. Call 780-298-2797.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:20 in Edmonton. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We got Thursday night football tomorrow. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Time to talk a little NFL now with Austin Mock from The Athletic, regular contributor here on Sports 1440. Good morning, Austin. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me today.
So we're, just past the halfway point here, Austin, in the NFL. Is there a team or a couple of teams that have surprised you so far? And I'm sure, like many, Indy's probably at the top of the list for you.
Yeah, Indy's been the out of nowhere, right? The offense has been incredible. The last couple of weeks has been a little bit, a little falling off, but still, putting up points and really efficient, obviously, it's passing and running. Daniel Jones has been very good. Rookie Tyler Warren in the passing game has been good for them. And then obviously Jonathan Taylor has been, I think, probably the best running back in football so far this year. So yeah, I think they take the cake, but like maybe not necessarily another team that's interesting, but I feel like it's wide open this year more than others. Like everybody kind of has, one flaw here. They're just not playing well. Like the Ravens injuries, they got off to a bad start. The Chiefs haven't all put it all together yet. So it's kind of an uncertain year. The Eagles have looked a little vulnerable. So I think that might be with the Colts. The other surprising thing is we just don't have that like dominant team yet to put at the top, like, hey, this is the team that you're going to have to beat.
Yeah, really fair, Austin. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor. Is he your MVP at this point of the season right now?
The whole running back debate for MVP. I am someone who can't put him there. I'm fine with putting him at Offensive Player of the Year, but I think like MVP, you could go like I think Matthew Stafford has an argument for it. And again, there's so much left of the season, so we'll see. But I just can't get to a world where I'm putting a running back at MVP. I'm in that category, whether that's a fault or not. I'm okay with admitting it. I am okay with him being Offensive Player of the Year, but I can't go that route. I think my vote right now is probably for Stafford.
Okay.
And a little bit, Drake May is a little bit in that conversation for the Patriots too. Another surprise.
Yeah.
I guess their schedule's been so easy. I knew that they probably have a solid year, but as good as they've been and as good as May's been, I guess is quite the surprise.
Yeah, fair comments. And I mean, 5-0 on the road for New England, leading the AFC East by a couple of games for sure. Austin Mock, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show from The Athletic on Sports 1440. If you were to look in the NFC, and you mentioned Philadelphia, and obviously the defending champs have to be in the conversation, but if you were doing power rankings, like where are you putting Seattle? Where are you putting the Rams? How's it stacking up for you, Austin?
Yeah, I think the Rams are my top team, but it's close. Like I think Philly is up there, though I still have questions about their offense. Seattle's right there too. Like I don't think there's, they obviously the Rams and the Seahawks play this weekend. Rams are a small favorite in that game, about a field goal. So, a little bit of an edge to the Rams over the Seahawks, but like they're right there. I think the Lions are right there. The Packers were in like the Tucker Kraft injury though is a pretty big one. I think they might be a step down from those teams for me right now. But those are the big, I guess, the big three for me in the division. Tampa's been banged up with injuries. I don't think they're quite in that category. So I think it's Rams, and then you kind of got the Eagles and Seahawks in that like second, or Eagles, Seahawks, and Lions in that second tier, a notch below the Rams for me. But like close, super close. Like the NFC playoffs could be quite the ride here in a couple months.
What do you make of that Seattle Rams game this weekend, Austin? Because I mean, quite likely, there's a good chance that whoever wins this game could win the division.
Yeah, huge game for the division, right? Whoever comes out on top is gonna have the path to take down the NFC West. So, like I said, I do like the Rams a little bit. I'm a little the reason I think the Seahawks are a little bit below them. Like when I'm doing my numbers and my modeling and everything, is the explosive plays for Seattle is like such a part of their offense, deep downfield throwing. I'd like to see a little bit more of like, hey, if you just sit back and you have your safeties deep, are you going to be able to do enough? And there's been some signs like they're just not quite as efficient without that downfield passing game. Though adding Rashid Shaheed at the deadline, like he's a different level, like over the top speed that again makes things tougher for you. Where Jackson Smith and Jigba can maybe operate a little bit more underneath in the intermediate game there. So they have a lot of answers. I like what they did with the Shaheed acquisition, but I give a little bit to the Rams. I just think that offense is more stylistically able to down, maybe methodically get down the field than the Seahawks. Though Devontae Adams' injury, what's his status is going to be a big one in that game as well.
Yeah. Austin Mock from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. I just want one more question with that game, Austin. Who's got the better defense between these two teams?
They're close. I think I'd give the little bit of an edge to Seattle. I like the defensive line for the Rams. I'm a little skeptical in the secondary and kind of like, what do they have enough high level players there? And then you look at Seattle, they got high level players all over, and they've been banged up. Devin Witherspoon and Reek Woolen were banged up in the secondary. They've gotten a lot of those guys back over the last few weeks. So I'd give the edge to Seattle in that department. Mike McDonald has that track record, what he was doing in Baltimore as well. That defense is legit. It's close. I need to see a little bit more from the Rams secondary, which obviously this weekend's a great test for that. But yeah, I'd give a slight edge to the Seahawks in that department.
Regarding the situation at quarterback with the New York Giants, with Jackson Dart in concussion protocol, if he can't go, it's looking like Jameis Winston starts at quarterback over Russell Wilson. What do you make of that, Austin?
Yeah, I think it's the right move. I don't think Jameis is like, hey, this is like a guy that could maybe be a starter for us or anything like that. But like we've seen enough. We saw Russell Wilson last year in Pittsburgh. We've seen him this year for a few games. Outside of that game, he threw for like 450 yards against the Cowboys. He can't move. He just isn't where he needs to be. Jameis is obviously a little bit of a gunslinger, but he can at least push the ball downfield. He can. There's a higher ceiling. There might be a lower floor. In terms of production, but like you can, if like the turnovers don't come, like Jameis can move the ball. I just don't know what you've seen from Russell Wilson this year that in last year that gives you confidence that he's going to be able to move the ball. And then you factor in the Packers, who don't have to blitz and can get after the quarterback. And Russell Wilson isn't someone who in the current form at his age isn't able to really navigate the pocket or scramble or anything like that. I think it's just a horrible matchup for the Giants with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I still don't think it's a great matchup with Jameis Winston, but I do think he's the slightly better option at this time. If they got to win some games. This is you want to tank for your draft pick, but you still want to see something out of the rest of your roster because Dart's looked at least decent for a rookie so far. Like there might be something there.
Where were you at with the coaching dismissal of Brian Dable with the Giants, Austin?
I thought he was going to be gone after last year, honestly. I thought Shane, the GM, was going to be in the same boat. I thought they'd start fresh, trying to get a rookie quarterback. They chose not to, and this is where I get like, okay, 10 games with a rookie, not even 10 games with a rookie quarterback because Dart didn't start all of them, and you're flipping you're flipping the head coach position already. And the interesting thing to me, and I'm fine with moving on from Dabo, but like Shane is retained, and maybe they get rid of him in the offseason. But if they don't, they're probably going to have to extend him because I believe he only has 1 year left on his contract. And what head coach is going to come in and be like, hey, yeah, I want a GM that is kind of on a lame duck year type of thing. So that's kind of the puzzling thing. I think it totally makes sense moving on from a head coach. They just, this is the third straight year they've started 2-8. It's just not where it is. But I also, for me at least, the GM position just isn't working out either. Like they've been in tandem together through this couple year stretch for the Giants, and that's the puzzling part for me. I agree with the Dayball move, like move on, get something fresh, change it up, but the GM position probably is equally at fault if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, anyone else on the hot seat as far as a coach goes across the league? Anywhere that you think they might make a change mid-season here?
Yeah, mid-season's tough. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's like, no one's like shockingly fell off. That it was like supposed to be a playoff team. Like, no one's collapsed. Like the Ravens are starting, they're winning games because they're getting healthier. Like injuries have been, people were talking about Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. Obviously, when you lose your quarterback and someone as good as Joe Burrow, you're gonna see a performance dip. So I saw people calling for Matt LaFleur. That's kind of, man, that's wild to me because he's won a lot of football games, and again, they just suffered a big injury with Tucker Kraft. The other one was going to be Mike McDaniel in Miami. Like he was the easy one. Or I guess the most likely, but then, they didn't even just beat Buffalo on Sunday. They kind of handled them with ease, and they've had some injuries too. So like maybe that saves, maybe saves an in-season firing at this point, or gives it a couple weeks here. So yeah, I don't know if anybody's like imminent in that department. But yeah, McDaniel was probably the easy one, but that went on Sunday. Maybe that changes things.
Yeah. Austin Mock from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Yesterday and today coming out, the Jair Alexander, Eagles cornerback, stepping away to get right what they're calling both physically and mentally. What did you think of the news there, and how big of a loss is this for the Eagles?
I don't know how big of a loss for the Eagles. One, like he hasn't been factored into their defense so far and everything, and they added Michael Carter in the secondary, so I think they'll be fine from an Eagles standpoint. Their defense, like they saw obviously that their defense was not quite ready to make a Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowl run. So they obviously with the addition of Jalen Phillips as well. So I don't know if I'm going to sit here and say that like the Alexander thing is going to be huge for them. They have a lot of talent in the secondary. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, as for him get your body right, get your mind right. Do whatever you have to do to get right and come back. Hopefully he can come back whenever he does get right and get back to being, because he was a pretty solid player when he was healthy. So I'll be rooting for him to get back.
What do you make of the Thursday nighter tomorrow, Austin? We touched on New England, and again on a real roll here, 8-2, 2 games clear. Buffalo in the division. The Jets come off a decent performance last week after all the trades that they made at the deadline. Maybe just a thought or two about tomorrow night's Thursday nighter.
Yeah, Patriots offense obviously has been very good. Drake May's been awesome. Their guys are wide open. That's like the big key here. They're scheming guys open. May's hitting them all. So I think they'll easily move the ball in the Jets defense. Obviously, the Jets kind of traded away Sauce Gardner, Quinn Williams. Yeah. They're kind of punting on the season. So don't think there'll be much resistance for the Patriots offense. On the other side of the ball, obviously limited as a passer. The one thing the Jets have been kind of decent at is running the ball, but the Patriots defense has been fantastic at stopping it. So I could see, 2-score potential here, maybe even blowout. It's weird. Thursday night games are weird in general. Then you add the division factor. That gets weird as well. But I have a hard time seeing Jets stopping the ball. I have a hard time seeing the Jets moving the ball. Definitely if the Patriots stop the run, because that means Justin Fields is going to have to drop back and throw a lot, which is not a good recipe. So, yeah, I think the Patriots have a good chance of getting a blowout win here to keep their they're on the path to the 1 seed. So they have a great chance of getting that.
What about Travion Henderson? I mean, call it a breakout game last week. I had 147 yards, too long rushing TDs. Is this a guy that they can count on moving forward here?
Yeah, I've been kind of banging the drum for him. The explosiveness, right? And I'm not going to say anybody can churn out yards in your rushing game, but like we just saw last year with the Eagles, it's kind of been the difference of Barkley this year, right? The explosive runs haven't been there for Barkley, and they were there all the time last year. And so if you're going to tell me that with Travion Henderson kind of assuming this running back one role for the Patriots, that the Patriots are still going to throw the ball as well as they've been throwing the ball all year, even though they played a weak schedule, and they're going to add like a home run hitter in the run backfield. That's a little scary. Again, they haven't played too many people, so I need to see it against better competition. They did beat the Bills in Buffalo, though. But yeah, I think you're talking about an offense that can really, when you can get explosives through the air and on the ground, and your quarterback can kind of do it all. Yeah, that's a tough team to stop. No matter who's playing against that offense, that's a tough team to stop.
You mentioned Saquon Barkley, Austin. Is it just, he's got a lot of miles, a lot of carries the last couple of years. Is that probably just adding up for him, or what do you think?
Yeah, so they're like the data on the guys who get 300 plus touches. I think he had like 350 last year when you count the playoffs. It's not great. The only guy who's like who's done it was like LaDainian Tomlinson back in the day for the Chargers. I think DeMarco Murray had a decent year, but he was still like the production dropped off. So it's not shocking from that standpoint. Then you add in like new offense coordinator in Philly. The offensive line hasn't been as strong as it was last year as well. Like it's kind of more of a everybody. Some of all the parts isn't playing to the level it was playing last year. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to look at it like he had his first like 20-yard run 2 weeks ago. Like that's nuts. Like for a player, he's always been that, right? Like that, from day one in the league, going back to those days at Penn State, he was the home run hitter all the time. So yeah, I think there might be a little bit of something there. Like just takes a little bit for the body to come back from 350 plus touches. So yeah, it's running back's hard. You're beaten up when you're taking that many touches. So yeah, it's not too shocking. Maybe we'll see him get some late season life here for the Eagles as they make a run.
Yeah, and here they are 7-2 to lead the NFC East, clear by 4 wins over Dallas and Washington. Austin, as always, really appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot. Enjoy week 11, and hopefully we can chat as the season progresses here. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks for having me, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week.
You betcha. That's Austin Mock from The Athletic. The Thursday nighter again, the New York Jets taking on New England. I mean, the Patriots just keep getting it done week after week. They're 5-0 on the road. They've won 7 in a row. They, their point differential is as good as it gets in the division. They're 2 games clear of the Buffalo Bills. They played 10 games. Buffalo's played 9. So that's the Thursday nighter. I don't know what the spread on this one is, Duke. For tomorrow, we've got to do that. We'll do it tomorrow. But hey, let's look back to Monday night. How about those Eagles, big?
Yeah, good call, Kev.
Big pick.
I even went with if I'd had the pick there, I probably would have went on the Packers at home.
Yeah.
But man, Packers got big problems. Like I thought the defense played really exceptionally well the vast majority of the game, but like offensively, they could not get a lick going. And when we chatted with Pete Doherty on Monday, he kind of said, the run game has struggled this year and it hasn't been nearly as effective. And I think that was very evident. And we saw Jordan Love just make a couple real costly mistakes, including like the fumble. Like they had a chance to tie the game and it ended up in being the most sad and feeble field goal attempt that maybe we've seen this year and I mean, hey, 64 yards had a really slim chance anyway, but in that circumstance, like when you're Jordan Love and like you just got to find a way to protect the ball a little bit more. And I think he's done a good job of progressing on that front so far in his career. But in a moment like that, you just got to be a little more certain, I think, of ball security.
Obviously, I was watching the Oilers game, and again, the bad thing about it being on Prime is you
tougher to switch back and forth. Yeah,
but
that's the world we live in with all the apps and stuff, right? It's not the same as just hitting recall on your TV remote in the traditional cable sense of watching games on different channels. Now and especially for a full-time streamer like myself, where it's like, if I'm watching a game in Sportsnet Plus, I want to jump over to a football game on TSN Plus, and all of a sudden this is on Prime, and here, there, everywhere. Yeah, the multiple screen setup that I utilize, it comes in handy for sure.
So the last series that Philadelphia had the ball, so Sirianni, that's a very, very highly questionable place.
We talked about it on Monday with Corey Mason, his decisions for the Riders in the fourth quarter, right? Like this is the same thing. Like if the Packers tie that game, even it doesn't even matter if they win it in overtime or not. If they just tie that game, cue everybody up. We know how ruthless the fans in Philadelphia are. Like the Fire Sirianni thing would have been at a full tilt, even though they're still well atop the division, all those things considered. Like that is just such a dumb thing to do. Where if you don't want to try the field goal, you're that set on it. Like just little just
run the ball, right?
Well, run it. Keep the clock moving. You can punt it. At least that eats a little more time off the clock because they'll likely have to return it at least. And you pin them deep in the process. That decision was so reckless.
Yeah.
And I think most of our listeners would know at this point, I'm for aggressiveness and going forward and playing to win rather than playing not to lose, which I think is what the Blue Jackets did late on Monday's game against the Oilers. But in this context, like you also got to be smart. Like you can't just you can't be dumb.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. The King of Fort Nasty chimes in. When was the last time the football Giants were any good? I can't remember a time. Was it back when Struddy still had hair? Wow. Also, good morning. He says earlier, I envisioned the Duke's living room being furnished with some old milk crates and a giant beanbag.
Well, that's essentially how I have been living here for the last couple of weeks. Granted, one of them I wasn't home, but yeah, just the old lawn chair propped up right behind the coffee table.
You know, I saw that picture you sent me when you first moved in there.
And when I sent it to a bunch of my friends, I was like, because this was a pretty common trend on social media, and I guess it still existed. I just don't see it as much anymore. Of like the male setup right in their living room, where it's like, a coffee, a lawn chair, a milk crate, and then just the 70-inch TV in front of it, and it's like the female mind cannot comprehend the simplicity of this and the happiness that it brings people. Like that's really all a lot of us need in life. And I'll be honest though, after another full Sunday of sitting in said lawn chair, I was pretty eager for my couch to arrive this week.
Lawn chair, like this isn't even one of those fancy lawn chairs.
No, this is like it's a folding, but it does have the little kick out table on the side with a cup holder in it.
Come on,
it's a good lawn chair. I like it a lot. But now it's gonna get moved to the deck or the patio. Excuse me. It'll be out there for some nice brisk morning coffee, perhaps.
Yeah. Your buddy Nails texted in too. Said, "Sure, Duke, a couch coming." Maybe KK, it's today when the señorita gets in.
Well, wouldn't that be something? I will say this. Now that I have a piece of furniture in the new apartment, maybe the opportunity to have guests over goes up pretty exponentially.
No one's coming over there, dude.
What?
No one's coming over there.
I might host a party. I'm going to invite a ton of people, and it'll all just be crammed into this tiny little apartment.
Cat party.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When we come back, we'll bring in old Fenzi, Josh Fenwick, to talk about the Raptors. Hey, the Raptors are one win out of second place in the whole conference. Like, that's how bad the East is. That's how bad it is. When we come back, we'll bring in Fenzi, as Eddie calls him. Or is it Fenny? I think it's just Fenny. Yeah. Fenzi's pretty good, too. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius Show. The Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan.
think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for a chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:47 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius with you on a Wednesday morning, along with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick. Hey, the Raptors beat the Nets 119-109. Raptors improved to 6-5. Their one win out of second place in the Eastern Conference. Penzi, how can this possibly be right now? What's going on here with your Raptors?
Pretty simple explanation, really. They are basically in the top half of the league of every major statistical category that a team needs to be a winning ball club.
Mm-hmm.
They're sixth in the league in pace, which means they're getting up and down the floor fast. Their offensive rating is just outside of the elite offenses like Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder and things of the such. The only thing is they don't win by a lot.
Well, 10 points last night.
10 points last night.
That's
Their
pretty
average
bad,
margin
eh?
of victory is about 3. I do believe that takes into account losses, however. But their defensive rating through games is very good. Opponents are only really putting up 115 points on them.
Nets are 1-10.
The Nets are also terrible at basketball.
Who's worse? Are the Nets worse than the Wizards?
I would say yes. The guy on the Nets who's leading them in assists is not their point guard, Cam Thomas, who does not care about passing the ball. It is Michael Porter Jr., who also famously does not care about passing the ball.
Yeah.
And he's leading them in assists. That's a real problem. They got a lot of guys that are just ball hogs. Teams don't really work that way.
You know what? It's kind of sad to see, but Indy's also 1-10, and you look at where they were last year, and with the injuries, right?
No, it's just a tough beat. They've been hanging in games though, so they are a Tyrese Halliburton away from being who they were last year. I thought the Miles Turner loss would be a lot greater than it is, but again, they're hanging in games with people, so they just need that one guy to come back. Which unfortunately, I don't think he's coming back this year, but he's working out in practice. He could come back.
Yeah.
It's a real peculiar situation with all these Achilles injuries.
Also, Duke, I'm noticing your favorite team in the NBA, Orlando Magic.
They're not my favorite team.
Well,
I'm a Thunder guy.
No. But you said Orlando was.
Well,
gonna be...
I have a vested interest in Orlando this year. I suppose one could say.
And you know what was funny? When you were gone, we had Paul Sir on, and I said, "Too bad Duke isn't here to talk about the Orlando Magic." And Paul said something to the effect of like, "Oh, poor Duke."
They're right in the mix. They'd be in a play-in game if the playoffs started today. That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Boston's 5-7, Orlando's 5-6. So
Declan's team, the Miami Heat,
7-4,
big time, third place. They're on a roll right now.
Yeah, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland, Miami, all at 7-4.
Oh yeah,
it's jammed up in there.
Yeah.
Well, what did we say before the season started? Eastern Conference is as open as we'll probably see it.
Oh yeah,
like with the injuries to Boston, the Pacers, it's wide open, man.
The Knicks are 7-0 at home, but they're 0-3 on the road. That's a problem.
When we had Matt Devlin on, Josh, when the Duke was gone, what did we say if they could go 3-2 on this road trip?
Yeah, 3-2. That's a win. If you can come out with just above a winning record, that's good.
Brendan texts in and says, "You're not a Thunder guy, Duke. You're just on the bandwagon."
Wrong. Connor Halley and I jumped on the bandwagon, but that was going into the 2023-24 season. Like when we launched the station, when we started Fantasy Frenzy, Connor and I firmly planted our seeds into the Thunder camp and said, we're on board with this. Long awaited championship last year. We really lived through the struggles of the team and the franchise, and we got our ultimate reward. So we jumped on the bandwagon just early enough to say that, hey, we were here before the masses immigrated over. So that's good.
I have an SGA jersey, I got it. I ordered it. The next day he had a 20-20-10 game. And I was like, oh my God, this is an all-time purchase.
Whatever. One of the texters, but we don't have his name though. I just said, can we get your name, please? But he mentioned it's worth saying Justin Lawrence, 4 appearances in the Grey Cup in 7 seasons. That's a local guy. He's been in studio for us. Came in, was it after, I guess it was was it 2 years ago, Duke? He came in studio?
Oh, geez. It all blends together.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, because he brought in his ring, right? And everything like that. And obviously, Alberta Golden Bears interviewed Justin many, many times. I think we were talking about it. He went to, I think it was the Shrine game or something like that. Anyway, so Montreal and Saskatchewan. What do you think of this line, Duke? I know CFL is always harder but -4. Saskatchewan's favored right now.
Yeah, I think that the uncertainty around Davis Alexander is playing a big factor in this. To see a spread of this nature in a championship game, the Riders' defense is premier. Like it is really good, and offensively, they've shown an ability to get it going when it matters. Harris had himself a great season. He's got some good weapons. I mean, it's tough to find a better, more reliable running back than AJ Ouellette when he's in the lineup. So I think it makes sense. Now, if Alexander's confirmed to play, I could see this shrinking by a point and a half. But I think the Riders should be favored and by a couple points for sure.
Jay Swish texts in, Las Vegas will be rocking. Go Riders. Las Vegas. I've never heard the peg being called.
We should ask Eddie, see if he's ever used that term. And I'm sure.
No, Eddie would. He has.
I've heard of Fox Vegas for Fox Creek in the Peace Country. Head up there for some shift work, as many people do. They describe it as Fox Vegas, but that might be about it.
I can't imagine how many Rider fans would be going crossing the border here. Probably starting. Well, I mean, if you want to go to the Grey Cup and enjoy the festivities, let's call it that. you're probably going on a Thursday. So tomorrow, I would imagine the exodus
will
from
begin.
Sasky starts.
The vast migration.
So, I mean, because then you get there Thursday. So you say you're driving, you get to Las Vegas, I don't know, supper time. So now you're ripping it up probably the whole drive there as well. So you're already well on your way. And you got Thursday night and then Friday night. Usually Friday night is the best night for the Grey Cup week. Friday nights. Saturdays, you know, they have so many breakfasts and things like that on the Saturday. It's sort of an all-day thing. And if you are lucky enough, if you're a Rider fan and you're going to the game on Sunday, then you're hanging around. I would imagine a lot of them, Rider fans, are getting back in the vehicle and driving back to Saskatchewan on Sunday to watch the game, in Saskatchewan.
I could see it. I could see it for sure.
I where are you going to stay? This is going to be a total gong show. I was at the Grey Cup when the Eskimos won 10 years ago with Eddie Steele. It was an unbelievable event because there were so many Edmonton fans that went. And it was just a phenomenal week in Las Vegas. Top of the hour, when we come back, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
9 games total across the NHL last night, including the Maple Leafs losing to the Bruins in Boston 5-3. David Pastrnak scoring his 400th NHL goal in the victory, and injury to insult for Toronto as both Austin Matthews and Anthony Stolarz leaving the game due to injury. Habs, they fall to the Kings 5-1. Senators losing to the Stars 3-2 in overtime. Blues top the Flames 3-2. Sharks over the Wild 2-1 in OT. And the Jets, they topped the Canucks 5-3. Thatcher Demko left that game after the first period for Vancouver and did not return. In the association, yesterday the Raptors get a win over Brooklyn 119-109. Emmanuel Quickley leading the way with 24 points, and 8 of the games across the hardwood, including Sixers over the Celtics 102-100. Thunder moved to 11-1, on the year, the 126-102 win over the Warriors. And the Nuggets, they topped the Kings 122-108. Nikola Jokic, 35.15 rebound, double-double in the win. Coming up in hour 2, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, as well as Kate Pedersen from Frankly Hockey on Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
When you visit a Booster Juice location on November 13th and purchase any regular size smoothie, you get another one free.
No way.
Yes way. We celebrate our birthday every year with a special buy one, get one smoothie offer to show our appreciation for our amazing customers from coast to coast.
I'm ready to celebrate.
Thank you, Canada, for 26 wonderful years. We look forward to serving you not one, but 2 delicious smoothies on November 13th. Conditions apply. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
For Silly hockey fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta.
With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius with you, along with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440 in the palatial studios here at West Edmonton Mall. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Hey, we got winter tires. It's tires that cost too. Yes, cost. Can you believe it? And just don't believe me, man. Check them out for yourself at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Well, it's one of those days like it's Wednesday, but it doesn't feel like a Wednesday. Know what I mean?
No, it's kind of I know it's Remembrance Day and it falls on November 11th, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
But every year when it's on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, it's a weird day for sure.
You're right. Yeah. I went to the Calder cenotaph yesterday morning for the outdoor ceremony. And
good for you.
It was really good. I mean, so well run. They had like a little program. They handed out when you walk the kind of into the area there in the park by Calder, by the community hall. And they had, just a parade, and then everyone gathered around the cenotaph and had a real nice, quick program, and weather was outstanding. So it was great.
Good. I watched the one out of Ottawa yesterday.
Yeah.
Just try to watch every year, and it's beautiful. I mean, they do such a nice job.
Mm-hmm.
They had a nice little skiff of snow. They had looked about 6 inches of snow in Ottawa that we don't have.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you know what? It's a day. It's awesome to see what we do on November 11th every year. It's still a day. It's still a time where you stop what you're doing at either you go to something like you did, or you stop what you're doing at 10:30 and you watch that thing till 11:15.
Mm-hmm.
Lest we forget, right? Lest we forget.
It was great. How about that game Monday night? Let's go back to Monday. It feels like it's like 2 weeks ago for me for some reason, but I when I looked at the game, and maybe you got this feeling too, it's almost like, because of the pressure of after what happened on Saturday, it was a different feeling in my eyes anyway. But I almost felt like, you sometimes you play not to win and you're playing not to lose. It's a little different. I kind of felt that that's how the Oilers were looking at that one because of everything that happened the game prior. I don't know. Where did you come out on it?
Well, listen, there is a lot of stuff around this team. There's a lot of, inner pressure, right?
Yeah.
Everybody inside that dressing room in the organization, the pressure's on. We're back at that point again this year, like we've been in the last 2 years, where it's time to quit, to turn a bad start into that good middle. And for 2 years in a row, they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's pressure from the media. There's the fans are feeling a little different when they sit down for that Columbus game, because normally Columbus is supposed to be a fun night at the rink and you watch your team usually win, and that's awesome. But on Monday night, they're coming off that 9-1 game. How are they going to respond? And they have a good first, but they weren't very good in the second. Now you think, oh my goodness, this is bad. And yeah, I know it was and they end up winning a game that frankly have absolutely no business winning. The hockey gods shone down on the Oilers on Monday, man. Tell you what, they got 7 wins. Take that win and that one that Montreal against Montreal, the refs basically gifted it to them. So of their 7 wins, 2 of them have been awfully fortunate.
Yeah. We mentioned Trent Frederick and the possibility that he might have a little dance with Matthew Olivier, and he did. I mean, he showed some big cojones to do that.
Yeah, Olivier is the toughest, probably as tough a guy as there is in the league. I hate saying the toughest.
Right.
There's nobody tougher. There's no better technical fighter. There's not many guys fight more. So yep. And you know what? He didn't do it for the media. He didn't do it for the fans. He did it for his teammates, right? The theme in that room is everybody figure out what it is you bring to the team and start bringing it. And he said, okay, you know what? I'm never going to be a big heavyweight, but the thing I bring to this team is I'm going to get in a scrap once in a while. I'm going to give us energy. And he went out and showed his teammates the very first shift. Okay, I got my guy. I'm doing my job. And it didn't go well. I mean, it didn't go well, but you know, hockey, Kev, it doesn't matter how it goes. It's the fact that you show up that leaves the impression on your teammates. And after the game, both McDavid and Wallman brought that fight up unasked. They both injected it into their post-game comments because it meant a lot in the dressing room.
Well, and I mean, people don't understand how difficult, how hard that is. You know, when you're going up 2-3 weight classes, and you know that if you aren't hanging on to the very best of your abilities, and you got to get Frederick got one good one in at the start, but you know if you can't hang on, that you're going to take a couple. You know, and he got opened up a little bit, but he won a lot of marks in my books on Monday night.
Oh, absolutely. This is, you know, he's like on this team. I'd say to you that him and Darnell Nurse are the 2 guys that are going to fight anybody. Am I missing somebody?
No.
You know?
Else. Maybe, you know, the odd time, maybe put Coles in, you know.
Yeah, the odd time, sure. This isn't me saying no one else has the courage to do it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, in terms of roles, there's really only 2 guys around here that if somebody leans on Connor McDavid, that you're looking to go over and straighten somebody out. So Frederick knows that I'm one of those guys. I'm the forward. That's my job. Even if he's a bit miscast, because he's not a heavyweight fighter. He shouldn't be taking on Olivier. But he knows on this team right now, unless we get someone else, that falls under my job description. And I'm going to show everybody that I know it. I realize it. I'm ready to take it on. And again, you know, this is a team that needs everybody who does something to start doing it better. And Frederick was the first one to put his hand up, so give him credit for that.
Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. That Connor McDavid backhand goal, you know, I guess we get spoiled, right? You know, you think, you know, the things that he does, you almost take for granted, but that's when we haven't really seen before how he scored that one.
No, it was right away. I thought of Malkin scoring that goal on the Oilers a few years ago. Remember?
Yeah,
he did the same move, same goal, and you still see the odd highlight of it. Yeah, he really, you know, that's another guy, right? Connor McDavid came out and said, okay, you know, my job on this team is to score and create goals. And if passing this much isn't working, then I better start shooting it. And he came out in the 3rd period. And like Knobloch said, he refused to let us lose this game. And, you know, that was, I mean, we see Connor McDavid do great things all the time. But in that situation on that night with what's going on around this team, man, you know, those were 2 big goals he scored, 2 individual efforts. He just showed that he still got it. And when he needs to pull it out, it's still there.
It's funny. We touched on this off the top. If you were to say in the Pacific Division right now, the 3 teams that are, you know, at the top of the Pacific, Anaheim, then LA, and Seattle. It's some things, you know, sometimes it's upside down. But right now, these are the 3 teams that everyone's chasing, like Vegas, like the Oilers. Yeah, it's something else when you see those 3 teams at the top of the division.
Yeah, it is like Edmonton's sitting there at 16 points in second last place. I mean, a win tonight.
18, and you got 18 spec.
Oh, sorry, I got to refresh this. I got standings. I just refreshed. Excuse me. Anyway, they're right in the hunt. Is my point. Right, 5th place at 18 points. Excuse me. They're tied for 2nd place in points. at this point in the season, when we're 15, 16 games in, I don't care about points percentage. I don't care about who's got what in hand. It doesn't matter. I watched Anaheim last night, Kev.
Did you?
In Denver, watched the second and third period of that game, and it was a wow, like what a fast game. Two teams throwing it around, man. It was a really good hockey game last night. Anaheim's fun. I don't know, if they're not for real yet, they can see it from here. How about that?
Well, and again, we talked about the youthfulness on this team, but not just the youthfulness. They're big. All these guys that are young on this team that are, like Carlson, like McTavish, they're all big guys that can bang and cycle. That's the scary part about them for me.
And handle pucks, like size and skill. So, no, they built a nice looking team there, and they got a really good goalie. I know they lost last night in Colorado, but Stahl was excellent in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a lot of parts. They got a unbelievably good puck moving defense. They got a bunch of good forwards. That's, the Oilers. I think I said this the other day. The Oilers better hurry up and win here because Anaheim's got their hands on that window and they're trying to close it as fast as they can.
And again, so I just punched up their height and weight. Leo Carlson's spec is 6'3", 210. Cutter Gauthier, 6'2", 205. Beckett Seneke, who's only 19 years old, 6'3", 230.
Wow.
Pardon me, 206. Kreider's 6'3", 230. McTavish, 6'1", 220. I mean, these are all big guys that are, and young, like 20, 21, 19, 22.
Big, young, and good, right?
Yeah.
And now they taste some success. And there's always a belief when you're young players in the league that can we really do this? Or is what we do good enough to beat real NHL teams?
Yeah.
And they're 17 or 16 games in, whatever they are, and they're beaten. They're 11-3-1, 15 games in. So certainly the belief has got to start to set in there. And you know what else they're doing, Kev? They're 5 points up in the whole division, but they're building a cushion here for when inevitably they lose a few in a row here. You start to lose some. That's okay. They're building themselves a little room for the losing streak that comes for every team. And Edmonton seems to always be on the other end of that. They use that losing streak up early, and then they got to win all the way to the end. So good for Anaheim, man. I look forward to seeing them come to town.
For sure. So Oilers in Philadelphia tonight, 1-7 on the road. And I mean, the Flyers are off to a pretty decent start at 8-5-2. So, I mean, normally in the last couple of years, the Philly, you remember years ago, you used to talk about the Philadelphia flu,
Years ago. That's about 50 years ago now, buddy.
Freddie the Fog Shiro, right?
Yep.
The Flyers flu. It's not like that anymore, although they got some bigger guys on that team too. But what do you make of this one tonight, Spec?
Well, Edmonton's got to turn a page at some point here. Right? They got to turn a page. Like they're muddling along. Win one, lose one, win one, lose two, overtime loss. And now they go on the road trip. The first 4 games of this road trip go Philly, Columbus, Carolina, which is going pretty good, and Buffalo. And then you end in Washington and the 2 Florida teams. At the end of a 7-game trip, you've been on the road a while. Those are going to be hard wins. So to me, the front end of this trip is pretty crucial, hey? It's pretty crucial right off the top. Columbus played last night in in Seattle, and they're on their way home. They're going to they'll get home. The first game home's against the Oil. So the Oil have to get some jump here. They got to put some consistency together. They got to find their game. The game we watched against Columbus the other night, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Like, yay, they won. Guess what? They shouldn't have won. They shouldn't have had a point out of that game. So their game's got to keep going north here. Like they are nowhere close to being out of the woods. And they have a couple of opponents here that they're supposed to be able to walk into Philly and win a hockey game here. So let's see what we see tonight.
I want to throw a name out at you, Spec, because we have talked about the goaltending situation here in Edmonton. You've brought it up many times, and you said, I think your words were, hey, it's up to Stan Bowman to figure this out.
Yep.
Now, is a guy like Dan Vladar, would he be on your radar? Do you think he is an upgrade on what we have here right now? I mean, he's having a good start to this year. We've seen him in Calgary, obviously. Is that a guy, because the contract fits? You know, he's got one more year left after this year at 3.35. Is that a guy that maybe is on your radar?
I mean, sure. I guess I want to say to you, if I'm Philly and I'm, you know, he's my number one goalie. He's played 9 games. Samuel Erson's played 5.
Yeah.
And then they got nobody. They got some Russian guy that they've tried out that's not very good. And then they've got this Kolosov as well. They got 2 Russian guys. One of them, I think they traded to Columbus. Anyway, you know, put it this way. I always thought to myself, Dan Vladar was a top-rate backup in Calgary. He deserved a shot as a starter. He gets one in Philly. Now that he's got it, I don't know why on earth, if you're Rick Tocchet in the Philadelphia Flyers, would you move that goalie? He's younger. He's cheap. You might have unearthed a starter that no one thought was a starter. You know, could you snap your fingers and get him? If you could, maybe the answer is yes. But I think realistically, if you had that goalie and you were Philly,
the whole thing,
you put the phone down the minute someone asked about him. Why on earth would you trade the guy? He's got a .917 save percentage for you this year. You're off to your best start in years.
Totally agree. You know, it's just, again, you think about names that are out there and the possibilities. Like, people bring up names that's just not happening. But a guy like Vladar, and let's just say Philadelphia falls out of it here, right? You know, they're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. That's listen, it is such a hard trade. We've had the conversation. I'm almost tired of having it. That's why I wrote what I wrote the other day. It's time to quit talking about how hard it is. And Stan Bowman's got to figure it out. Like, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, Saros has a huge contract. Yeah, a guy like Vladar, someone else has, and they probably want to keep him. You know, yeah, you can't get all the top guys like Vasilevsky and Sorokin and all these guys. Yeah. They're not just given. So we've talked at length about all the guys you can't get. You know what? Stan Bowman, his job as the general manager of this team is to go out and find somebody you can get and figure the solution out. That's his job. It's not your job. It's not my job. It's not the fans' job. He's the one making the big bucks. He's got a goaltending issue in Edmonton. He's got to solve his problem.
Good stuff, Spec. 5:30 puck drop tonight. That's a nice early game for you. You can relax.
Yeah. I'm already pre-gaming with a nice coffee right now. Maybe an early hot tub.
And I mean, normally an early hot tub. Yeah, exactly. And then a back-to-back tomorrow again. So good stuff, Spec. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. That's
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark. Brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet, Buick GMC. This truck's for you when we come back. Kate Pedersen from Victory Plus TV and Frankly Hockey will be with us. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old man managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next where'd I put my phone moment. moment.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:21 in Edmonton. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellas. That's mrrooter.ca. As we welcome back Kate Pedersen from Frankly Hockey and Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Kate. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm just getting ready for another busy show this morning. So this is a fun opportunity to have a quick chat.
I bet it. Matt, how do you handle Frank on a daily basis?
Oh, gosh. What a guy. No, I will say it's been very cool. It's been a very different experience from the many jobs I've held in the NHL over the last few years of my career. So very different and very exciting. I mean, Frank is tapped in. No one knows hockey more through and through. So it's been really fun. Really unique to be able to, instead of covering just one team, to be able to go day to day and talk about all 32 teams and with the Olympic storylines and all the other things going on off the ice as well.
Is that the biggest thing for you, Kate? Because before you were focused on the one team, whether it be Nashville or Vancouver, is that the biggest thing for you right now?
Yeah, I already had the utmost respect for guys like Frank and insiders and people who are so tapped in. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm doing it every single day, I'm like, wow, they are just, the deep end of knowledge. So I think for me, that's the biggest thing. And then also not having that interaction with the players day to day and the coaching staff and being at the rink. But what's been really cool for me is I keep seeing familiar faces as guests on our show. We had Glenn Gulletson do an intermission. Of course, I was with him in Edmonton, and then we had Bob Stauffer on the other day for a little chat about the Edmonton Oilers. So that's been a cool part is reconnecting on our show live with some of these characters that I spent time with various teams. But yeah, Evan, it's a lot to know. It's a lot to keep track of. And I go to bed early. So that's been a challenge. I've had to kind of shake up my schedule to try to get up really early and catch up on the highlights that I missed because I'm an old lady and I like to get my 8 hours early in the night.
Can you find it sometimes to be overwhelming? Like, I've been doing this for like 2.5 years coming up. And sometimes I'm, at the very beginning, I was like, man, there's, it's not just hockey too, right? We're covering everything. So do you ever find yourself caught up in that?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think part of the challenge of the role and the challenge really throughout my career is managing it because the workload doesn't change. And this is day to day working for a team as well. And I think a lot of people can relate, whether you're a player, a coach, in the business. It's hard, it's fast, it's kind of never ending in that sense. And so I think the biggest challenge is finding ways to manage. And for me, that's okay. I'm going to block time in the afternoon to do this. And maybe there's a day where I have to wake up earlier, stay up later, or I do a little mid-afternoon check-in. What's going on around the league? Who's playing? What are some of the big storylines? What should I double check before bed? And things like that. And then also having a partner like Frank to lean on is really great because he's done it for so long and he's so tapped in that, maybe he knows something or has a tidbit and, we go through that in our pre-show production meeting and that's been really helpful. But I think for me, the challenge is managing all of it and then being able, as you've got to manufacture, you've got to be, whether you're tired, whether you're a little bit under the weather, whatever, you got to bring that, big punch off the top of the show and carry it for a full hour. And so, yeah, I'm adapting on the fly. Let me know if you got any.
Good stuff. Kate Pedersen with us from Victory Plus TV. So we're coming up to the 20 game mark here, and a lot of teams in the NHL, they figure at that point they know what they have. Maybe they know what they need, and then they move forward accordingly. But is there a team for you that's maybe stood out and surprised you so far as we head to this 20 game mark in the NHL season, Kate?
Yeah, I've honestly, and this isn't because I work for Victory Plus, but I've been pleasantly surprised with the Anaheim Ducks. I think in all of our conversations heading into the season, no one was talking about the Ducks. And of course, we expected them to be better, but to be at this level and to have a kid like Leo Carlson, up at the top of the league in scoring, he's only behind Nathan McKinnon right now. He's been lights out. And I think, you mentioned the 20 game mark. We were speculating, a week or two ago, and they've just, of course, they lost to Colorado, snapping that 7-game win streak, but they've been outstanding. And I think that's impressed me a lot. And I think on the flip side, most of the surprises for me this season have been teams underperforming that you really expected to be good out of the gate. But I would say the Ducks have been really impressive. And then one team we talked about yesterday on the show that's been fun to watch, and they've been getting better goaltending and they're trending in the right direction, is the New York Islanders, because you can't get caught up in the story of Matthew Schaefer and what he continues to do. And I think what's impressed me the most about him too is just, he's an old soul, and the way he's just handled it all with such poise. Yeah. You have to check yourself and think, wow, he's a teenager. He's watching Paw Patrol with Matt Martin's kids when he's not at the rink. It's like, whoa, what was I doing at 18? And it really puts it in perspective.
Yeah, you're exactly right with him. And I was, when I looked at Schaefer, Kate, I wasn't sure what we were going to get this year. Like, just missed so much time last year. I mean, it almost looks like it's coming easy for him.
Yeah, and it was funny because I hosted a draft special for the NHL with Will Smith and Zeev Bouillon. Those were my co-hosts in LA. And that was the biggest question when there was some, the rumors that fly in the final 24 hours of crunch time there before the draft. Is Misa going to surpass Schaefer? Do teams have confidence in what they've seen? Because he had the injury, and then he also had mono, and he really got a small sample size of what he could offer. And it's interesting. We have Craig Button on our show weekly, and he said, I didn't even expect him to be sticking in the NHL this season. And now we're talking about a guy who's not only playing regularly, but he's earned the trust of the coaches to be on the ice in some of those big situations in late game moments where he's really just shown that he can be trusted and he is so skilled. And I think that's what's impressed me the most is how quickly he's come in, how quickly he's made an impact, but also earning the trust of the coaches. Mm-hmm. And Frank and I talked about it the other day. Gosh, does that guy inject some life and personality into the media, which the NHL needs so much. And it's so fun to watch as well. So definitely surprised, especially with what we didn't get to see last season, and thoroughly impressed with him on and off the ice.
Right. And I mean, I don't think he'll make it, but there's even whispers of the Olympic team. That's how good he's been, right? So
Yeah, Frank and I have been diving deep into the Olympics, and of course, Bedard making a case, and I don't envy the position of either general manager for the Canadian or the US team. You do in a little bit, because in some sense, because you're like, wow, a surplus of talent, you're going to be able to create a great team. But
Yeah.
there are some tough decisions, because it's not who to put on, it's who has to come off to make space. And that is, I'm happy to be talking about it and not sitting in that chair.
Kate Pedersen with us. Hey, as you know, Frank comes on our show Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's going to Italy for the Olympics. Are you going, Kate?
I am not. I will be holding down the fort at home. So
You
we do
know-
our show remote, so I'll have my same comfy setup. But I am jealous because I did the Vancouver Olympics as an intern. That's really where my career took off.
Yeah.
And then I did the Sochi Olympics behind the scenes as a writer. And there's just, if you've had the chance to be at one or cover one, my first Olympics was as a kid in 96 in Atlanta with my mom. But there's just something so special. It uplifts a nation, any nation, whichever nation you're supporting. And I just think, with the way we have social media and the powerful broadcast teams and all of this incredible broadcast media talent, the stories and the storytelling really just capture you for that couple of weeks. And Frank's lucky he's going to be going, but I'm excited to have a teammate there so that we can do our own version of sharing some of those special stories and those magic moments that are coming.
Who were you working for in 2014 in Sochi, Kate?
CBC. Okay. So I had the crazy setup. I had a den in my apartment and I blacked it out and I shoved an air mattress in there because I was working midnight to 8 a.m. So I was only a block from the CBC. I was the lead writer of freestyle skiing and snowboarding. I actually sat across from Mike Brophy, who was the lead writer for all of the hockey coverage. And you know what? I thought they gave me a few weeks leading in to adjust to the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be really tough. And I'm going to sound like a homer again, but wow, what Canada was able to do, especially in my sports. I think we accounted for almost half the medal haul of what Canada was able to do in freestyle skiing and snowboarding. I was jittery all night. It's that Olympic rush where the adrenaline takes over because, you're cheering for all these unbelievable athletes, but you're also seeing, I remember way back, Alex Bilodeau's brother and that story about his brother being out there to support him. You can't not, I have goosebumps right now. You can't not just be enthralled with it. And so for me, that midnight to 8 a.m. was a no-brainer. It was easy because Canada's winning. You're telling these powerful stories and you just can't help but cheer for all these athletes and just be, running on adrenaline all through the night. And then I crashed hard when I got home, probably at 8:30, I was out.
You got to be a boarder, right?
What's funny? I went through that edgy phase. I grew up skiing at Blue Mountain, northwest of Toronto, grew up skiing, went through the edgy phase when snowboarding was cooler and switched. And then I realized later in life that my friends would just gas me at the top of the mountain if I was wasting any time putting my bindings on. So I hang with the ski racing crowd. And so I went back to skiing, but can do both. Multi-sport athlete, casual flex. There you go.
Okay. So what Blue Mountain in Toronto, when you moved out west, you must have went, wow, now there's some mountains here.
Definitely some mountains, but I will say on weeknights when I was working for the Edmonton Oilers, I did what I called power hour. And what's the name of that little hill?
Rabbit Hill. There's two, I think, like the one Snow Valley, the one down like
right downtown.
Yeah, that's probably
Snow Valley.
Yeah, probably just off the White Mud. You're thinking, yeah.
And it was like $10 for an hour, and you just rip hot laps, and I'm talking like 1 minute lap. Like a 6-turner. But there's something to be said for working. The grind of the hockey season, working long hours, and again, I go back to knowing yourself and being able to manage that pressure and that stress. And that was 1 hour of freezing cold, fresh air, and just a little escape. And then, nothing to send you into bed, like a couple of hot laps at 9 o'clock at night. And then boom, you're out back to the rink in the morning.
No kidding. Kate Pedersen with us from Victory Plus TV. You spend a lot of time in Nashville with the Predators as well, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? And I mean, when you were there, they were successful. The last year and a half, I mean, with all the players they added, can you put your finger on what's going on with the Preds here?
I don't know that anyone can. And I don't think anyone questions the moves that Barry Trotz made, because no one could have really expected, when you look at the team on paper and the talent of especially some of those veterans, like bringing in Jonathan Marchessault and Steven Stamkos, no one could have expected for the fit to just not be there and the performance and their numbers to just not be there. I don't know. Frank and I talked about it on our show yesterday.
Yep.
Where do they go from here? Again, another position you don't envy being in, because they've got these veterans on contracts that are going to be tough to move. And then you've got these young players who no doubt are talented, but there's too much of a gap between what you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys aren't ready to step up and to be what they need in a younger group. So I don't know. I don't think anyone could put a finger on it. We said it yesterday on the show. This is a great time for the Preds to be out of sight, out of mind. It kind of gives them a breath to be over in Sweden for the global series. If anything, there's a positive that they're off the grid for a hot minute and they can reset. And maybe that reset looks like a coaching change. Maybe that's what's coming, because I do think that Barry Trotz feels for Andrew Brunette from a coach's perspective and sees him in that lens. But I mean, Brunette's been on a long leash here. So at a certain point, they need a jolt. And I don't really know where that can come from a roster perspective. And when you look at these contracts and, being so early on in the season to try to make a trade, I think it's got to be a coaching change. And Frank made a valid point. Maybe this is the week while they're over there, and then come back fresh with a new perspective and try to get something going. But definitely not the Preds we're used to seeing a couple of years ago. And, when I was with Vancouver, that was a pretty heated series. And I really think the Preds could have won that series when Vancouver ended up winning. So
like, even what did you make of Ryan O'Reilly? Just the other day, he just looked.
He kind of came out and backtracked on that a little bit, but he did say, I didn't want to sound like a crybaby in his next media availability. But I think, when veterans are coming out and pointing blame at themselves, that's what they're supposed to do is come out and take the bullets for the team. But that to me says frustration boiling over. There's no clarity on an identity and a direction, and they're in hot water, and it's not a good thing.
Like, how can Steven Stamkos only have 4 points this year?
It's insane. And it's insane if you look back at his numbers, the last 3 seasons in Tampa and the consistency, and I don't have them in front of me, but it's wild to see the drop off and then to see the way he hasn't been able to put up those numbers. And that's, when I talk about contracts that are going to be tough to shed, that's going to be a tough contract to shed. And maybe, a change of scenery and playing with a different group revamps that, but that's a lot of money. And I don't know what teams are in a position to make that kind of move and to take on that kind of a contract.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah. I got the numbers: 106 points, 84, 81 last 3 years in Tampa, just 53 last year, but he did have 27 goals. This year, 3 goals, 1 assist in 18 games. It's hard to fathom.
It's a completely different player. And he's definitely not got a group around him that is performing where they need to be either.
Yeah, exactly. Kate, as always, great conversation. Really enjoyed our time this morning. Thanks for coming on and kick Frank in the backside for us, when you.
I will. I'll be with him this morning. I'm with him every day at 11 Central. So
another hour and a half, you betcha. Thanks a lot, Kate. Talk soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, that's Kate Pedersen from Frankly Hockey, Victory Plus TV. And again, her and Frank go on at 10 o'clock our time. So you could probably catch him later, even after Fantasy Frenzy, Duke, maybe, you can.
That's right. If that's you're so inclined and you I mean, Fantasy Frenzy can't miss programming. The topics covered range so drastically, but yeah, much like any of our shows, right, where there's podcasts and you can go back on YouTube and watch it. Same goes for Frank and Kate with their Victory Plus shows. You can watch it live or you can catch up after the fact.
Precisely. It's a headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the number one overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. Steven Stamkos, I mean, it's almost unimaginable the start that he's had this year. It was similar last year, although he did finish with 27 goals. For a guy that's getting up there, still decent, the guy's 35 years old. He's coming 36 in February. But he's got 3 goals, 1 assist. He's -8. He was -36 last year. And this is after so many outstanding seasons. 2 Stanley Cups back-to-back with Tampa in 2019, 20, and 21. It just doesn't make sense. The fact that, and again, Kate mentioned about the supporting cast around him, but I mean, holy smokes, this is a team that just is in so much disarray. You heard O'Reilly, and Kate said, yeah, he backed it up a little bit on his next media availability, but they're an older team. I mean, Ryan O'Reilly's 34 years old. Marchessault's 34. Stamkos is 35. Phil Forsberg's 31. I don't know what direction that Barry Trotz and the Nashville Predators are going to be going here. Hey, when we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Top of the hour, David Schlemko will be by, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. We've got Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com and Brian Smith from the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network, also ahead on the big show. When we come back, some open time with the Duke and your texts. 833 again, 401-1440. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
When you visit a Booster Juice location on November 13th and purchase any regular size smoothie, you get another one free.
No way.
Yes way. We celebrate our birthday every year with a special buy one, get one smoothie offer to show our appreciation for our amazing customers from coast to coast.
I'm ready to celebrate.
Thank you, Canada, for 26 wonderful years. We look forward to serving you not 1, but 2 delicious smoothies on November 13th. Conditions apply. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
Just think, Kevin Karius has been covering Edmonton sports since before TikTok, Twitter, texting, and the Titanic. We may have made that last one up. Check out Karius in the mornings on Sports 1440. Your game, your station.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
Sometimes it's just best to see the professionals. For example, surgery. But the YouTube tutorial made it look easy. Is that your appendix? I think so. Wow. Like I said, it's best to see the professionals. And when you need help choosing the right metal for your next project, cut to your precise measurements, you've got to see the pros at Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com. Look at the wobble.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you're treating me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building, we're elevating, we're moving up. New space, new contracts.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
This is the Kevin Karius Show of Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you on Sports 1440. The show is presented by our title sponsor, Sports Select. It's easy to play, man. Just generate that QR code. Go to sportselect.com. There's a step-by-step video guide you can look at. Check them out, sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You must be 18 years plus. Please play responsibly. Bud Baker texted into me, Duke, and said, wow, what a fumble. What a fumble. The one player every Oiler fan wants, and you don't even ask about it. I guess that was with Kate Pedersen because of her time in Nashville, and we talked about the Predators. Well, Bud, I responded to Bud Baker. Please tell me how the Oilers can acquire UC Saros. And that is the player that I am assuming that Bud is, inquiring about. So he sends a reply back. Skinner, Frederick, Janmark, and how many ever first-round picks it takes. So I said, well, Bud, you are living in a fantasy world. I said, do you also like his contract, UC Saros, plus his 3.11 goals against average and his .892 save percentage? Also, he has no movement clause, Bud. So he has a contract that extends at $7.74 million right through 2033. Now, and he's a 30-year-old goaltender. Is that something you might be interested in, Bud Baker? Duke, what would you say the chances of UC Saros being traded to Edmonton would be?
If we're, I guess it's all relative, right? I think that the chances of a UC Saros acquisition are substantially, maybe even infinitely higher than, say, Ilya Sorokin, which I know is another guy that has been just constantly on the tip of Oilers fans' tongues going back well over a year now. But do I think that it is the likely outcome? I don't think so. This is a guy in Nashville that they signed long-term, traded away the next guy in line, right?
Yep.
In Yaroslav Askarov. Who's now in San Jose and having a good go here, as is his counterpart in Delkovich. But if Nashville does make this deal, who's playing goalie for them? Stuart Skinner, I suppose, and Bud Baker's idea of a potential trade. And yeah, I get it. The Predators probably want to stockpile some draft picks, but this is also a team that needs to do the turnaround, the here and now.
Yeah.
Because as you talked about with Kate, and we've talked about a lot here the past season and a quarter, they went all in. They brought in a bunch of veteran players that are owed a lot of money. And as Kate said, not exactly the easiest contracts to move when we're talking Shea, Marchessault, Stamkos. this is a team that kind of needs to do the turnaround quicker than later.
Right now.
And I think moving on from Saros for this proposed package of a bunch of guys that Oilers fans don't want, and as a result, using logic, don't have very much trade value, and then just tacking on a bunch of draft picks. Well, I'm not sure that does anybody any favors. So if it were to happen, I think it would take some real creativity, and I'm not sure the Oilers fans would actually like the result, because I don't think a deal of Skinner, Frederick, Janmark, and draft picks would probably get the job done.
Team Dean says, well, Jeff Merrick can't seem to stop talking about Saros to Edmonton. So it's not as unreasonable as KK ranted from Team Dean. You want that contract, Duke, till 2033?
Me personally, if I were the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, which obviously I'm not, no, I wouldn't.
Nope.
I think that there's other, like, if you're taking a bit of a gamble, and Saros has a good track record, and yes, he's playing behind a seemingly bad Nashville team the last year and a half, but like, take a look at what the longer term outlook tells us about a guy like Saros. He probably has good longevity because he's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But how often do we see undersized goalies have really long runs of success in the NHL? It's not very common. And the reality is, because the players have gotten so good in shooters, like, you can be as athletic as you want in the world, and Saros absolutely falls in that category. But like, it just is so much more difficult to have success at this level as a guy who's 5'8" than the standard, like, 6'2", 6'3", like we're seeing now is the norm, right? It's harder than, say, 5'8" forwards, because the game has gotten faster, more skill-based. 5'8" forwards and defensemen, they have an easier go of it now. It's flipped, because it used to be undersized goalies had a better look. It's not the case anymore.
Team Dean says Nashville would obviously eat some of his contract.
Well, obviously, of course, Kevin. Obviously, they'd bend over backwards to make this as easy as possible for the Oilers. Why wouldn't they?
Oh, man. How about Kate and talking about the Ducks, though, Duke?
Well, it was the first topic, and
man.
actually, I was just stepping out to wash my coffee cup. I didn't want to get my head balloon so big that my headphones wouldn't fit on, but I leaned over to Josh and I said, "Hey, everybody loves the Ducks." And much like Spec, I watched that game last night, and Spec's right. It was a bit of a track meet, like the back and forth, the pace of the game was excellent. Ducks come up short. It's 4-1 with empty net goals, so a 3-1 hockey game was close all contests long. You have to like what they're doing. You have to like what they're doing. Now, the sustainability of it for more than the first 20 games, I think, will be telling if this team is taking that next step, or still in, or having taken it, or still in the process of taking it.
Yeah, a lot of people texting in. They feel that UC Saros is on his way to Edmonton here. Also, Karius texting, don't do it. No, Saros, no way, man. Doug says, morning, Kevin, hearing rumblings about a package deal between the Oilers and Nashville, bringing Saros back to Edmonton. I don't know. Rod in the Valley goes, I go Kosa in Detroit over Saros. Rod in the Valley. Well, I mean, Sebastian Kosa hasn't played anything in the NHL.
He played a handful of NHL games.
I mean, this is Sebastian Kosa could be your goalie 5 years from now, 3 years from now, but not right now. Jay and Victoria, morning, guys. I'm at the point where the goalie's not the fix. Think we need some toughness and compete. Hasha could be a net. We could still have issues. We are not the team that went to the Cup 2 years in a row. I agree with that, because the team is way different this year compared to especially last year and year before. I mean, they were close 2 years ago, a goal away from overtime in Game 7. Last year, we saw Florida manhandle the Oilers after it was down to a best of 3 in Games 5 and 6. Team Dean says, I'm not saying he's on his way, but going off and saying it's ridiculous is just as bad as saying he's on his way. I just don't see how it works. I don't see how the trade works, Team Dean. Roddy, morning, boys. Bouchard Skinner in a first rounder would get a Swayman or a Sorokin. Scorecan, is that it's get typed in?
I think that's supposed to be Sorokin, yeah.
Scorecan. Can be done, but expensive. Garrett Lang texts in. Hi, Kevin. What goalie can stop 15 high danger chances a game? That's
point.
Well, I mean, in the Colorado game, there was more than that, probably.
Oh, God.
The court. I mean, that game, it could have been 15-1.
And listen, I understand the continued frustration around the goaltending. But let's rewind to Monday night, the most recent game the Oilers have played. They do not win that game without the way Stuart Skinner played. They were so drastically outplayed in the second and third periods. Skinner made a number of high danger, bona fide stops that kept the game within reach, that allowed Connor McDavid to go hero mode and get the game to overtime. Lucky bounce, helping along the way too. And then seconds before Jack Roslovic scored the winning goal, it was an excellent 2-on-1 stop by Stuart Skinner that turned it back the other way into a breakaway. So I understand that goaltending will continue to be a topic of conversation, but if we're going day by day, as of right now, I think we should be content in a day by day world.
I would imagine, and maybe they go with Cal Pickard tonight, and Skinner goes tomorrow, but maybe they go, obviously it's a split in Philly, then Columbus. There's also a back-to-back next week, Washington and Tampa Bay. You would think the game on the 22nd, on the Saturday night, the rematch against Florida, is going to be Skinner. So, Cal Pickard's going to see at least 2 games on this 7-game road trip for sure. When we come back, top of the hour, we got the king, the gun, the fire. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. David Schlemko, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision from 9 to 11. Also, Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. As well as Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network in the next couple of hours. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by First Round. Sunday's got even better at First Round because you could win an NFL helmet or a jersey and enjoy the Pro Bowl brunch. Only at Edmonton's NFL headquarters. First Round, downtown or on Bourbon Street. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
9 games across the NHL last night, including the Maple Leafs losing it to Boston 5-3 in Beantown. David Pastrnak scored his 400th career goal in the victory. And tough news for the Maple Leafs was both Austin Matthews and Anthony Stolarz leaving the game due to injury. Kings topped the Canadiens 5-1. Senators falling to the Stars in overtime 3-2. Flames losing in St. Louis 3-2. And in one of the nightcap games, Jets topped the Canucks 5-3. Thatcher Demko exiting that game after the first period and did not return. On the hardwood, Toronto Raptors pick up a win in Brooklyn, 119-109 over the Nets. Emmanuel quickly leading the way with 24 points, 8 rebounds. 8 of the games across the association. Knicks over the Grizzlies, 133-120. Celtics eked out by the Sixers, 102-100. Thunder moved to 11-1 on the year, the 126-102 win over the Warriors. And the Denver Nuggets, propelled by a 35-point, 15-rebound double-double from Nikola Jokic. They topped the Kings, 122-108. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com and our Wednesday co-host, former NHL defenseman David Schlemko. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Herrenschwiener. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
it might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win friends with salad.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
The future of female hockey is here.
It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, as well as Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, and now our co-host on Wednesdays from 9 to 11, David Schlemko, the former NHLer for Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. Check them out at cougarcollision.com as we welcome in old David Schlemko. Good morning, Schlemmer.
Morning, KK.
Yeah. How was your weekend? And Remembrance Day yesterday?
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet.
I was saying earlier, I went to the Calder Memorial Cenotaph for the Remembrance Day ceremony.
How's that?
Well, it was really cool because it was normally just kind of go to the one here in the mall.
Okay.
It's closer, right? And I mean, indoors, and you can, just kind of overlooks the ice palace, right?
Okay.
And it's obviously well attended. There's a lot of people there, but to be outside yesterday was really nice because it was such great weather.
Awesome.
And they had, I'd say probably about 400 people there that were just around the cenotaph. So
yeah, right on.
Pretty cool stuff. A lot of people texting in 833-401-1440. Just before you came in, we had Kate Pedersen on, and we discussed some things in Nashville. I did not bring up UC Saros, apparently, coming to Edmonton. That a lot of people think that this is in the mix, happening. I don't know.
Really? UC.
So, two things here. I mean, what are you giving up to get a guy? But the main thing here is obviously the salary cap. This is a guy that's 7.7 and change, 7.740, but he's locked up till 2033.
Right.
So that's a big, that's a long-term contract here, man.
I mean, I think for me, a lot of it depends, like what's going on in Nashville exactly. So when UC Saros signs this deal, he's considered one of the best goalies in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's considered a team-friendly deal at 7 point whatever. So what has gone on in the last couple of years that Saros is even available, first of all?
And he has a no movement clause. Okay. So
Right.
he would have to say, I want to move on. And you know how it is. Some players like where they play.
I'm guessing Nashville's one of those places.
Yeah.
It's nice. You got the weather. It's a cool town.
Mhm.
Guys like playing there. They put on a show every home game. They should have a good team. I mean, let's be honest. On paper, they should be a playoff team. if things have gone really sour there, maybe he wants out. I can't really see it happening personally.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Just the fact that they've struggled so much.
It's hard to believe. I mean, we talked about Steven Stamkos, 3 goals, 1 assist this year.
It's insane.
Like, this is a perennial. This is, a Rocket Richard winner.
So when does Brunette get the door?
Well, Kate Pedersen was discussing that. She said, it's a good thing. So Nashville's playing Pittsburgh this weekend in
in Sweden.
The global series in Stockholm. So, they're off the, they're out of the crosshairs a little bit when it comes to the media, North American media here. But
imagine getting fired in Europe. Catch your own flight home.
I mean, when the Oilers fired Todd McClellan, they could have done it, and he was on the airplane, like going to San Jose, and then they fired him in, that day.
Right. Well, that's where he came from. Maybe,
but they knew
maybe he still had a house there.
Unreal. Got a text here from Mark to say, and he's heard this from David Staples from the Journal. Hey, Kevin, your thoughts about Paul Coffey returning to the bench?
Please.
Says I don't support it from Mark, but it seems to be getting legs. He says David Staples from the Journal wrote it. I haven't heard anything on that end.
I haven't heard any whispers about that. I'm wondering why you'd be against it.
I don't know why Mark would be against it, but Paul did some pretty good stuff here for the couple of years that he was here.
One of the best to ever do it. I like the way the Oilers D's playing the last couple of years compared to the first 17 games so far.
Mm-hmm. So, like, we've talked about, Mark Stewart basically, running the defense now. Like, can that be that big of a change?
I don't know.
Because he's been here for a long time, too.
That's like, I can't see it. And Mark Stewart, like, this guy was a well-respected player. Like, he was absolute nails. So yeah, I don't know. Some of the stuff this year really makes me wonder, like the lack of like box outs and even just toughness. The Oilers net front, I feel like must drive a guy like that absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw it. I mean, when you watched that game on Saturday night, you must have been just going, well, I can't believe
it. It was wild.
It could have been 15-1.
Easily. I was excited to watch that game.
Well, everyone was too. Like I left after the second period. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. It was just, man.
I mean, yeah, I just started fast forwarding to every goal, and then you ended up stopping a lot.
Yeah. Ron Texan, morning, guys. I think the owners need to get their defense in sync first. That'll prevent less grade A chances from occurring. Hopefully, give Skinner and Pickard a better chance of making saves. Well, bang on there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue. You can't argue with any of it. I mean, it's all bad right now, except for Connor. I mean, even Leon picked it up in the Columbus game, but without those two guys, I mean, pack a lunch, baby. It's over.
Yeah,
we looked awful.
What is it like? Can you when you watch and you see the defensive structure or lack thereof? What are you seeing as a defenseman?
I just see like a whole team that looks uninterested in really competing. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same team. They're not playing fast. They don't look determined. They're not physical. So like what is their identity right now? It just looks like wait and hope Connor or Leon picks us up and does something special.
Well, I mean, Duke brought that up on Monday. The identity of this team, no one knows what it is, or even if they have any identity. Right. I don't know where the team lies in that sense because they don't seem to know themselves.
Well, no, and it's so much one and done, even in the ozone for me. I mean, take the goaltending out of it for a second, and the defense and the D zone and everything they're giving up. But I mean, the best defense is an offense sometimes, right? Whether we're not hanging on to pucks, we're not buzzing in the ozone. I mean, last year, especially in the playoffs, like when they were going, man, they were buzzing. It was wave after wave and changing in the ozone. And now it feels like unless 97 or 29 are out there, there's no buzzing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one can hang on to the puck. It's all just like a one and done, like a hope pass to the middle or a
lot of people talk about those long passes instead of being more connected and having a breakout of when you come out together.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
I mean, I'm not even including that. Just from the blue line down, we got to have a little more extended time and wear some teams down, and get a chance and recover a puck and do it again.
They just don't have those guys, right? Like, I mean, that was Corey Perry, and that was Kane could do it. He didn't play in the regular season.
You're right, though. Like guys like Perry, Brown, you're really missing those kind of guys. Hyman, guys that are going to go and get pucks back.
So, I mean, the game prior, the fourth line was basically, it was Tomashik and then the two young guys in Howard and Savoy. That changed, going into the game against Columbus with Janmark coming in. And I mean, that's pretty tough for Janmark. I mean, his first game.
That is, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't noticeable really.
No.
But that line with Philp, and Philp's got to start banging some bodies here too.
Yep.
Or else he's not going to be up here much longer.
No, I think I think we talked about this last week actually, but someone's got to have a talk with them. Like, you want to keep riding on the nice plane and getting these big boy paychecks. Like,
or do you want to just be?
You got to bring something.
You want to be an AHLer.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to decide that. When you look at, again, their bottom six, that depth, and it's going to change here. I mean, RNH that's the difference going out of the lineup, going on IR now.
Yeah.
But we're hopefully going to see Zach Hyman soon. But I mean, there's another, he hasn't played. This is coming up 6 months here already.
Yeah, he's going to take a minute to get going for sure. He's going to need some runway, but he'll be huge to have back. I think just mentally, even for the team, he's such a big part of that leadership group. And I think just having him in the room will be kind of a calming presence. And even if his hand isn't great around the net or scoring and shooting, he still brings so much, even when he doesn't have the puck. Just his work ethic, his compete.
Tricky Dick Richard. Oilers are washed this year. Too many choke jobs. Finals. They're mentally fragile. Don't have the sauce to make the hard plays this year. He says, I expect them to make the playoffs and get trounced in the first or second round.
I mean, I don't think anyone would be surprised maybe if they go out in the first or second round this year of the playoffs after making it a couple of years, but I don't know if I agree with why they're playing the way they are. I think it's probably pretty hard to get up for every single game in the first 15 games when you've played that much important hockey in the last couple of years. That's what it looks like to me anyways.
iMac Tixon, hey, weren't you talking about Knobloch not liking the way Coffey coached him? It's not hard to see he would be pretty fiery, but clearly it's still a valued way to get through to most players. I don't know if I ever said that. I don't recall that, iMac, but I mean, Paul Coffey is a presence.
I think he's huge for a guy like Evan Bouchard.
So how much do you think Bouchard misses that? Of Coffey not being able to, I mean, just even after a shift?
I think a lot. I think because there's only like a select, like a handful of guys maybe that can do what Evan Bouchard does. And Koff was one of them, right? Yeah. So it probably means a little bit more. It sounds a little bit different coming from a guy like that. Maybe after a mistake of hey, I see what you were trying to do there, but maybe now this isn't the time. Where, if it's coming from another coach, it might be just in one ear out the other.
Triple C says, I feel blessed to be living in a city with so many experts in hockey that used to be NHL GMs and played AAA hockey. Well, we get a lot of the texts coming in, Triple C. We appreciate every one of these texts too. And hey, I mean, maybe I was a little hard on Buddy Baker about Saros, okay? But I just don't see how the fit happens, again, with a no movement clause. And the fact that contract is till 2033. I don't know if that's a contract you want hanging around this team.
I would take it.
You would?
I really like Saros. Yeah.
To me, again, he's not a big guy.
He's not, but he is so good. He's so quick.
He's got Stu Skinner numbers this year.
Yeah.
Last year, the numbers, I think Stu probably had better numbers than him last year. And I don't know.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, Nashville's they've been trash. I'm sure his numbers haven't been great. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, almost similar. I don't, again, 896 last year, save percentage, and a 297 goals against.
I feel like a guy like that could come in here and really kind of just soak in the atmosphere of. I think he's Finnish, right? He'd come in.
Yeah.
He'd love like the Canadian winter, and I don't know.
Well, I mean-
I can see him being a good fit here. Just gonna stir the pot a little bit.
Obviously, you got a guy like Matthias Ekholm in your corner, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Stu's numbers were almost identical to Saros a year ago.
I'm not here to to shit on Stu or anything. I think he's been just fine.
Mm-hmm. Glenn Texan, what's the lineup for tonight? Don't know yet, Glenn. I would imagine they are close to taking their morning skate in Philadelphia.
10:30 Philly time.
Yeah. Well, they would go on after, right? So
they're 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30. They probably go on in about 15 minutes or so. Brad says Saros is an athletic tender, unlike Skinner. He'd be arguably the first athletic tender in this city since Dwayne Rollison.
Is athletic.
Oh yeah. Well, he has to be when you're he's like, he's the same size as like a Dustin Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Coming up after the break, Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. We'll also check in the 10 o'clock hour with Brian Smith from the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network. The Duke has exited the building because he's getting a couch delivered from the Brick. Now, does he have, Josh is on the board now. Does Duke have to, did he head home to?
Yes, he did. He headed home so that because for whatever reason, for both which he and I are very perplexed, is they're not allowed to bring the couch into his apartment, for which he left the door unlocked without his being there.
Really?
So you could see the visible frustration on his face on the phone call.
Yeah.
But he handled it like a certified pro. He was very kind.
I love the fact that he just left his apartment unlocked. Came to work.
Tiger texted in and I didn't notice it. So Duke walked behind you and Tiger's obviously watching on YouTube. Was that Duke's belly that just walked behind David?
Sure was.
Oh, man. Hey, Dick Richard comes back to the Triple C. Little does Triple C know, I've never played a game of organized hockey in my life, much less Triple A, LOL. You pay your dollar, you get to holler. When we come back, Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. It's the Kevin Carey Show with David Schlemko, minus the Duke of Delburne, who is awaiting the arrival of a fancy new couch in his apartment. Josh Fenwick running the show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, hard work makes for happy clients.
My dad's just been a hard worker since day one. His family came to Canada with 2 nickels, and he has made a pretty good name for himself. It takes a lot of dedication and risk to start a business by yourself. But if you keep going at it, you'll eventually make some headway. Never get ahead of yourself. That really rang true to me because we always kind of try and keep a pretty level head.
Cougar Paint and Collision, part of the Napa Certified Body Shop program.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I've got to get 2 cheeseburgers, medium fries, and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. Hey, maybe I'll eat 1 cheeseburger right away and save one for later. Maybe I'll stack them and eat them both at once. Options. Oh, delicious, delicious options.
So 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a 2 cheeseburger meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
Welcome back to the big program, 9:20. 9:20 in Edmonton. And time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Hey, it is tire changeover time. And right now at Fountain Tire, you can save up to 15% off select tires. It's a perfect excuse to get road ready and save a little cash too. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we welcome back Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. Morning, Troy. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer, David Schlemko. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me on. How are you guys?
Oh, doing great here. Looking forward to tonight's Oilers Flyers game, the first of 7 on the road for the Oilers. Would you look at the NHL scoring lead and you look at who's at the top of the table here? Obviously, Nathan McKinnon is off to a real scorcher. What's he got? A dozen points in the last 3 games. But when you see all the youth up there, Troy, what does that make you see? I mean, these are all young guys that when you do your edge stats and all your fantasy stuff, to see guys like Carlson, Celebrini, Bedard at the top of the table here, man, that is something special.
It's what sticks out to me the most is how much speed is such a big factor in today's game. I'm sure that's a cliche that you guys have heard often, but speed just kills. And all these guys that you mentioned that are at the top of the scoring lead are fast. They're able to generate scoring with their speed. And it's not a surprise that they're ahead in the scoring race now. Celebrini and Bedard, I guess we should have seen these coming. These are top picks. I think I also saw something that the top 6 players in scoring this year are all first or second picks overall in the draft. So elite talents and now speed is such an important part of the game. It's how all teams try to generate offense is through speed and through chances off the rush, and these players are prime examples of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love to see it, especially Leo Carlson. I feel like I've been trying to call that for the last couple of years. So nice to see him finally break out. What about Bedard, Celebrini? There's a big argument online right now of who's the better player. So I wanted to ask you. You've got all the analytics and the stats. Who, in your opinion, is the better player right now?
So I don't know if I give you a great answer to that. I think they're both great. I think if I'm picking the team for Team Canada in the Olympics, I think they're both on my roster. I will say Celebrini is more of a 200-foot player, right? He brings as much offense as Bedard does, but he also adds the defensive component. He's a little bit more responsible in defensive zone and plays a complete game. What Bedard has done, which has impressed me the most, is that he's faster. He's measurably faster. All these edge stats that we can now measure, he didn't have a single 22-mile-per-hour speed burst last season. He's got 5 this year. He ranked in the 55th percentile of speed burst at the 20-mile-per-hour level last year. He's now in the 94th percentile. It's not a surprise, right? A 19-year-old that turns 20 and gains new muscles and can now be a faster player. But what Bedard's able to do is, right, he leads Chicago's chances off the rush. He shoots from the middle of the ice, and he's now top 5 in shots per game off the rush. So that's impressive for Bedard. Celebrini, the chemistry he has with Will Smith is really unique and really cool. Will Smith has 7 goals. Macklin Celebrini has assisted on all of them this year. He's a player. The one thing we look at with Celebrini is we can measure a projected goal rate every time he shoots the puck. How likely is that shot attempt to how likely is that to result in a goal? Celebrini does not generate a lot of grade A chances, but you don't need to have a grade A chance when you have the shot like that, and he just scores goals anyway. So they're both great players. I think time will tell who has the better career. I'd still take, if we're having a draft, I'd probably take Celebrini now, just because of that 200-foot game that I mentioned. But Bedard's right there, and he's obviously an elite talent who has a chance to even get even better as he grows into himself.
NHL.com's Troy Perlowitz, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show with David Schlemko. Did you see a lot of those videos, Troy, in the summer of Bedard training? It seemed there was one posted every second day. And I was just maybe thinking a lot of that training, you saw that explosiveness. How much do you think that helped him in the offseason?
Totally.
Season, yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And I think, I mentioned the Olympic team. It's just, I think having those young players around veteran leaders, it's great. About 2 weeks ago, we wrote an article here at NHL.com about the 3 generations of the NHL player now, right? We're still talking about Ovechkin and Crosby and how good they are and are still productive players at their age. Of course, you have the McKinnon and McDavid age group who are excelling and obviously dominating the league in terms of point production. And then you have the Celebrini and Bedard level. It's really 3 generations in one of the NHL player right now, which is just great to see. Yeah, I think the exposure to these young guys that could have to the older veterans, whether it's with the national team or not, I think it's great. I think all great teams have these young, exuberant players that bring juice to a lineup. We always hear coaches talking about that after a game, right? That we injected some youth into the lineup and it gets a little bit better. I certainly see that so many examples of that in the NHL today.
Yeah.
So, Troy, talking about the Oilers, we got to talk about goaltending. We talk about it every single day here. Probably just a rumor, but a little bit of a rumor started this morning. Maybe the Oilers could acquire UC Saros. I might have poured some gasoline on the fire. I don't know. What's your opinion on the Oilers goaltending situation? Do they even need to make a move? If so, what's out there? What's available?
Saros is an interesting case. His numbers are trending in the wrong direction, but that might be a result of Nashville being not a great team over the last couple of years, right? The save percentage is coming down, goals against average is coming up the last 3 years. So I can't tell you that UC Saros is going to be the answer to all of the struggles that are going on with Edmonton right now. I will say, during the playoffs, last year, I thought the Oilers, I thought they were going to win the cup last year. I'll fully admit, when going into that series against Florida, we've seen Stuart Skinner kind of be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Where he's I don't even know if I have that right. That might be wrong, but he's been spectacular in some games and some really ugly ones too. And you kind of have to ride that wave of how good he could be, and how bad he could be in the same season. The Oilers, I don't know. To me, with Edmonton in general, I know you didn't ask me this, but I'll say this. I'm waiting on Edmonton. They have played so many hockey games over the last 3 seasons, just like Florida has. I mean, everyone's not talking about Florida's poor start, but it could just be a result of a lot of hockey being played. And you just kind of have to be a slow burn. stay in the race. That's all you got to do. And I think the Oilers, with all their experience and all that talent, I mean, you still have Matthias Janmark just came back, but you still have, Kapanen's not back yet. Hyman's not back yet. RNH just went down with an injury. I think you got to keep these guys as healthy as possible, and then we can make generalizations about how good the Oilers are. I don't think it's goaltending is the only issue. I guess that would be my quick answer to that.
Mm-hmm. Troy Perlowitz with us on Sports 1440. When you look at the Oilers, and I've kind of been saying this for a few days now, Troy, and comparing them to the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's almost like they're the mirror images of each other right now. Do you see that as well?
Well, in terms of goal prevention, I would certainly agree with you. Toronto's issue is they just allow so many chances off the rush. I don't know. It could be a little bit slower. I don't understand what's really, it's the same coach, same Berube system that's going on there, but it seems like odd man rushes come against them in waves now. Edmonton doesn't really have that problem. It's more of, this year, last year, if you go back to Edmonton, they were one of the best teams at controlling offense. So they didn't have to play defense in the offensive zone, right? They had so much puck possession in the offensive zone that they never really had to face any hard chances in front, or very infrequently in a game. Mm-hmm. And this year, it seems like they're playing a little bit more in the defensive zone, and eventually they're getting hemmed in there and pucks are going in. For Toronto, it's like they can still control offense, but they just, once there's a turnover and the puck is mismanaged in the neutral zone, it's going back the other way, and they're making life really hard for their goaltender. I will say, I watch Edmonton games. I don't see them having that sort of problem.
So what about the goaltending in Toronto? I'm sure they're just as hard on their goalies in TO as they are here. What are they saying?
Yeah, I think they're also waiting until Joseph Wall comes back and returns to that lineup, and hopefully can stabilize the position. But Anthony Stolarz has struggled this year. There's no question about it. Like I said, it's probably hard for him to face all those chances off the rush. For a goaltender, I know we see this all the time. When goaltenders are squared to a shot, save percentage is like 960, 970 in the NHL this year. Goaltending is really good. I know everyone has said save percentage as a league is coming down, and therefore goalies are worse. I would disagree. I think that's a result of more power plays in the game and some really talented offensive skill in the game. And it's tough that Toronto, something's wrong. Something's wrong in the goaltending test. Maybe Joe Wall comes back and solves everything. But they're struggling. I think they're scared. I think they're a little worried, as they should be. That's also a really tough division, as you know. Montreal's not going anywhere. Florida is who they are. Tampa's still a really strong team. So that's a really tougher division. But they have their work cut out for them to solve their issues in net.
Yeah. Troy Perlowitz with us from NHL.com, Kevin Karius, David Schlemko. When you look at rookies this season, Troy, if you were to maybe vote for the Calder right now, who's your pick right now?
Oof.
Tough one. I'd probably still vote Demidov, but this kid, Matthew Schaefer in New York, is incredible. I mean, I got to see him live in person for the first time over the weekend. If you want to nerd out here, just if you watch him on his edges as a player who never played above junior A, I wish I could have that kind of talent. That his edges, he accelerates from 0 to 22 miles an hour like it's nothing. And in a league where Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar are still playing defense, it's Matthew Schaefer who leads all defensemen in 22-mile-per-hour speed bursts and 20-mile-per-hour speed bursts. The speed is incredible. The way he's taken over that power play too. He shoots from everywhere. Everything's on goal. He does all of these. I'm a youth hockey coach too. He does everything that we try to teach our players in terms of where you're shooting from on the ice. Demidov's going to be a productive player, especially if I saw he was playing first line minutes last night too, and they took Slavkovsky off the first line. He could probably still produce points at that kind of level, and if he does, he'll win the award. But Matthew Schaefer, watch him, because that might be the player who wins this thing at the end.
Unreal.
So there's been a ton of unbelievable rookies to come out this year. I know you guys probably have your preview predictions at the start of the year. Are there any rookies or really young guys that you guys expected to kind of come out and hit fire that have maybe been a little bit disappointing?
So I'll give you one that we were just looking at the other day. It was a slow start. He debuted last year in the playoffs, and that's Zeev Buium from the Minnesota Wild. I think we expected him to immediately go on power play one, and Minnesota's power play, when it's clicking, and they just got Zuccarello back. So with Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov firing pucks, I just expected Zeev Buium to be there, collect a lot of points. I think it's been a little slower to adjust to the game. The speed of the NHL game is tough, and as a defenseman, it's even tougher. Like we just talked about Schaefer's speed, and Buium is fast. He's just not as fast as Schaefer is. I think it's been a little bit of adjustment. He's a player I'm holding on to. I still reserve judgment. I'm not going to say I'm going away from him, but I expected him to have a little bit more of an impact than he currently has this year.
Yeah. How fired up are you to get the Olympic rosters getting named here in the next bit, Troy?
Oh, it's a huge event for the league. The league is super supportive of doing the Olympics. Fans love international best on best competitions, as we saw during the Four Nations last year. So it's huge for the league. We love it. All the national pride and rivalry. I'm really excited for the global series that's coming on this weekend, and that's going to be a great event for the league as well. But yeah, we're looking at the Olympics in February, and everyone around here at the office is super excited for it.
Yeah. Anything of note that we can check out on NHL.com that you got coming up here, Troy?
So the NHL Edge website got redesigned, so everyone can log on to edge.nhl.com, and some really cool things that we did in the offseason. You could check on pretty easily who had the hardest shot of the night, and we're just looking at Morgan Geekie had a 103 mile per hour shot attempt, which was the hardest of the season last night in their game against Toronto. So you could see the fastest speed burst of the night, hardest shot, and you could always check on how what the distance that Connor McDavid has gone in every game. He every time the Oilers play, you look back the next night, he's the leader in the clubhouse in terms of skating distance. That guy's feet are always moving. So plenty of cool stuff over at edge.nhl.com.
Good stuff. Thanks, Troy, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll talk soon.
David, Kevin, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Troy Perlowitz from NHL.com. And our puck report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, it is tire changeover time. Check them out at fountaintire.com. Oilers just getting on the ice for their morning skate in Philadelphia. The lines and defense pairings just released. Basically, same thing as what we saw on Monday night against Columbus. You got McDavid between Matthew Savoy and Andrew Mangiapane, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Roslovic, Henrique, Howard, and Frederick on the third line, and then Janmark, Philp, and Lazar. Tomashek looks to be the healthy scratch. Zach Hyman still not in the lineup as well. RNH on injured reserve as well. Ekholm and Bouchard, Nurse and Wallman, Kulak and Emberson. Stu Skinner gets the start. That would indicate that the Oilers will go with Cal Pickard tomorrow night in Columbus. So same kind of lines, Schlemmer.
Yep.
Everyone's sort of waiting for the defense pairings to create some more chemistry than what we've seen.
Some steadiness.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Jake Wallman had a couple goals. How about the goals that he scores?
One's a nice bounce.
Yeah.
Good read, though, to jump down the wall there.
Absolutely.
On the PK.
Yeah. But I think, everyone's kind of waiting for some chemistry and between him and Darnell Nurse.
Yeah. Up front too, right?
You can say whatever, everything.
Yeah.
Matthew Savoy, what have you seen from his game here?
Just not quite enough.
Yeah.
I think you really got to grab the bull by the horns. This is a great opportunity for him here, and you got to start producing, man, or at least creating more.
Mm-hmm.
Got to start creating more.
And you see glimpses of it, right?
Yeah, definitely. He was a high-end World Junior first-round pick for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously got the skill and the capability to do it. Usually just takes doing it a few times, get that confidence going and take off.
Is it, his size? We know, like, he's not a big guy.
No,
but
he could play a little bigger.
So are you thinking we might see more of that and that gets him involved more? Or?
I think he just needs to have some success, put the puck in the net, set up a goal or two. It's crazy how much easier the game feels when you don't have that monkey on your back and you feel like you can't get anything going. No, it's wild to watch a guy who's got like a 15 game goal scoreless slump going, and he'll score in the first and then he'll score again in the second.
Yeah. And again, you get that one that, next thing you know.
Get one, you'll get two.
That's exactly right. When we come back, we're going to go in or out with David Schlemko. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings, now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold Planet Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
The Lawnmower Hospital. Finish up the season with the Lawnmower Hospital and Ego, the #1 rated battery-powered platform. Ego lawnmowers are easy to use, powerful, and efficient. Transfer the battery to the pressure washer and clean the house. Don't forget the air blowers for when the leaves fall. Get Ego at the Lawnmower Hospital. Power beyond belief. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code, or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
To the big program, 9:43 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you here at the Palatial Sports 1440 Studios in West Edmonton Mall. Got a text from Tyler Greenslade, coach of the Harry Ainley Titans. A great story here, too. So he texted me and says, how about this? So you got Joe and Lawal Ugwak played for the Harry Ainley Titans in 2017. They won the provincial championship. Now they'll play against each other in the Grey Cup on Sunday. Lawal from here, as you know, Joe moved here in grade 10, and they actually won the basketball provincials together as well. Joe was in grade 10. Lawal was in grade 12. Cool story. Thanks for that, Tyler. And again,
very cool.
So many great Edmonton connections for the Grey Cup coming up on Sunday. Saskatchewan and the Montreal Alouettes in Winnipeg. Yeah.
That's cool.
I interviewed both those guys when they were, coming up, and Lawal was a hell of an athlete. Probably great athletes in the family.
What was the one name? Joe?
Joe. It's AJOU.
Yeah.
And it's a Joe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And some people pronounced it a Jew before, and he was like, no, it's a Joe. So
very cool.
It was a double namer.
Love it.
And then again, you think about like Harry Ainley. I mean, obviously a football factory and basketball factory. I mean, so many great basketball teams came out of Harry Ainley over the years, and Tri-Prov and all that stuff. So, and then the football team too. Brock Ralph was coaching for a long time. Now Tyler taking over as head coach and stuff like that. So, a football powerhouse for sure. Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck.
Rewinding to Monday night, Oilers squeak out a win in extra time over Columbus. Despite the spirited start, Trent Frederick dropping the gloves with Matthew Olivier, a little physical play for the Oilers. Not the same for the remaining 40 minutes of the contest. I thought it very much looked the exact same lackluster game that we've seen from them so far this season.
Yeah, probably going to go in. And we've seen so many games. I mean, I think everyone still just agrees that the complete game that they had was in game 2 against Vancouver. Other than that, it's been inconsistency, and it's been again trying to find a game and trying to keep it. They can find the game, but then they lose it quite quickly. So, and I mean, you can say yes, the other team is playing too, but the Oilers don't initiate, they don't instigate, they don't do enough on their own to keep that game and keep that momentum. So yeah, I'll be in. It's just,
I mean, this might be the easiest in or out question ever, Duke. I don't know. That was, they won the game, right? They won the game, but thank God they got 97 out there because they did not deserve to win the game. I thought they looked just as bad as the Colorado game, honestly. They got to figure something out here. Yeah, definitely in. Oh, I guess I got to mention though, the ball's on Frederick to go after Olivier like that, man. Like, my God, that takes a lot of guts to go and challenge the toughest guy in the league to get beat up like that in front of your home fans.
I know. I appreciate the text too. Monday night, Duke.
I texted you and Eddie.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't put it in a group chat because I know how much you despise
I
those.
appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm always looking out for you, Kev. Schlemmer on Monday, I predicted it. I said within the first 10 minutes of the game. I didn't say Frederick. I didn't say he'd have the stones to go.
I said it.
You did for sure, right? But I just said like some Oiler has to do this within the first 10, like to show that you're capable of it and you have a little bit of backbone within the team, within the organization. So as you guys said, like
we had so many texters too, Duke, saying that it's not going to happen.
Like there's no chance, different weight class, all this stuff. He'll get his eyes pumped shut, and he largely did. He got that one good shot in at the start, and I mean.
That's the one that pissed him off, though.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, the shiner on Frederick was very visible by the time the game was over.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was.
And the zipper, too.
I mean, the lineys could have got in there a little quicker.
I would probably agree.
Like Olivier was just like cocked, like looking at them, like, "Are you guys gonna come in here? Or am I gonna keep
give him
beating
a
on
couple
this
more?
guy?"
Give him a couple more. So yeah, tons of credit to Frederick for getting it going. And like I said, like Puck Colson laid a big hit. There was some physical play, but then it just like dissipated out. And especially through periods 2 and 3, like it just looked like the same Oilers so far. They do get some hero puck from their best player, their captain. They get a win as a result. Let's see if they can kind of spell that over into some momentum here into this upcoming road trip, which is where number 2 takes us. Taking on Philadelphia tonight to open up this 7-game roader. It's a tough schedule, a couple back-to-backs in it, some really good teams, particularly towards the end of this trip. I think if the Oilers can scrounge out 6 of an available 14 points, it doesn't seem like much, but just based on opponents and everything, I think that would deem the road trip a success.
I'm going to be out. I think you got to have a little bit more than that, even, Duke. I think you're 6 out of 14. That's not that good.
What do you expect much more based on how the team's playing?
No one knows.
You have games against Carolina, Washington, Tampa Bay, and Florida. And I get it. Florida, they don't look like the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions so far in the early going here. Sort of like you predicted, Kevin. Fair enough. But like the Jackets, they're going to have a little bit of revenge on their mind for blowing the lead. I would think that's the second half of a back-to-back. The Flyers are no slouch. They're in a playoff spot as of today. The Sabres are the Sabres, and Tampa and Washington on a back-to-back next week. Like, man, I think 6 points, if you can get 3 wins here of these 7, I think you're doing okay.
Well, see, like, I think where you're coming from the point of view is like they're going to keep playing how they're playing right now.
Honestly, yeah, I do.
I don't think a success would be 6 out of 14
it's
points.
All relative.
I mean, like, for
how
me
they're
though,
playing right now.
For me though, like, it doesn't matter who they're playing. Like, they're that good of a team. If they can find their game on this road trip, they're going to win at least 3 games. They're going to win 3, 4, maybe even 5 games.
So I'm gonna go.
I'm out.
Yeah, I just think it's just a tad low. Duke, you watch, they'll be less than 6 now.
Shooting for the stars.
Well, yeah. If you never set goals by not reaching them, you'll never be disappointed. So set very low bars, and that way your disappointment is much more limited in the short term. I just think it's a really tough sled here.
Wow.
They're not playing particularly well. Get 3 wins on this trip, and I think you come home happy enough for another tough test in the Dallas Stars waiting in a couple weeks' time. Elsewhere around the NHL, as mentioned, we talk about a team like Philadelphia currently sitting in a playoff spot. The standings don't really look very much like I think the vast majority of people would have predicted here as we approach the quarter mark of the season here in mid-November. Of the current 16 teams occupying a playoff spot, I think 6 of them will not be come season's end.
Oh, okay. So you're going Chicago and San Jose and Seattle in the West. Is that what you're going?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then in the East, I assume
Pitt,
it's
Pittsburgh,
tougher.
Ottawa,
Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on. I'm going to say Boston sneaks in here.
So, but yeah, you still think 5 is
5? I'll go.
Is very much in the realm.
Yeah, I'll go 5. And I think something going on with Pittsburgh too here, Duke. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think Philly comes out. I still think Florida's not going to cut her here, so I'm not counting them to come in.
And I think that maybe is part of the exercise here is to look at
Florida not to make the playoffs.
Is to look at teams currently on the outside.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, if I'm looking at the teams I think are gonna get in. Like, I think Minnie, Edmonton. I really like Utah to get in. Vegas and the East.
So there's maybe 4 teams in the
There's
West.
still like Florida, Washington. Even like Detroit, maybe not.
So and I get it. The Rangers
and
can't
coming
win
out.
on home ice, but I do still think the Rangers are a team that should be, and they're technically tied for the second wild card spot here, right? There's a big log jam in that kind of that mushy middle in both conferences right now. So
I'll be in with you, Duke.
And maybe it's not those 6 teams I specifically named, but I do think that from here, November the 12th to mid-April, there's going to be a pretty decent amount of turnover here.
I mean, the only division that is basically how it's supposed to be going is the Central.
Yeah.
I mean, with those 3 teams, right? With Colorado, Dallas, and Winnipeg, everyone would have those 3 teams probably in their top 3 in that division. Other than that, I mean, every other
he
division
was right there last year too.
Every other division's all backwards and upside down.
Duke's Ducks.
I should have said the Ducks would be.
No, come on. Do I expect the Ducks to win the Pacific Division? No, I don't. But I do think that they're a playoff team and going to be very much in the hunt for it down the stretch. I did put when they were beating Vegas on Saturday night, I put a future on them to win the division.
Oh boy.
And it honestly is not a very good price because they were in first place at the time. Like I got it plus 1,100, which is, hey, if they can pull it off, that'll still be a nice return. But compared to the start of the season, if I'd had the Stones to do it then, a little bit of a shorter.
It's Coach Q, baby.
Coach Q.
All he does is win.
Good guy. Good coach. And sticking with the same theme of teams that will not be in a playoff spot of, let's just say these 6, or in Kevin's case, 5 that aren't going to be there. I think the easiest choice or clearest choice to not be a playoff team this year, unfortunately, despite the youthful movement and the early season success, I think is the San Jose Sharks.
Wow. Not Chicago, eh?
I just think Chicago, and think about what we talked about with Frank on Monday. Like when you ask him about like, is the surprise of the Ducks or is the success of the Ducks surprising? He kind of says, well, yes and no. To be this good at this point may be a little surprising, but they've been in this process for several years now, right? They're reaping the rewards of drafting high for a couple years consecutive, developing their players pretty well. Chicago has been in that process longer than the Sharks currently. So as a result, I think that they have a little bit more of a roadway to success in this shorter time frame.
I might go Seattle, Duke.
Stole mine.
Oh, did I? Sorry. Yeah. That's the team. I think that with Chicago and San Jose with that youth movement, and Seattle's going to be a big seller here too. Like they got so many guys that are,
they're just bleh
on the final year of their contract.
Like I don't want to bet against like an exciting young team with a whole bunch of talent to miss the playoffs. I'd rather pick Seattle. That's just like I don't even really like watching them.
Jaden Schwartz, final year. Jordan Eberle, final year. Mason Marchment, final year. Tolvanen, Alexiak. There's 4 or 5 guys that could be going at the deadline here.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think all those teams we just named, plus 3 more, are all not going to be. But I like the Sharks, I think their blue line is still so suspect. Can you name me the 6 defensemen that are playing for the San Jose Sharks right now? I
Klinger back there.
Oh, good point. Good point. And the guys up front, like particularly Celebrini and Will Smith, William Eklund just back from injury. He's had a strong start. They got Toffoli still as a nice veteran presence. I think they're playing with house money a little bit here.
You got Vinny Desharnais, Duke.
Of course. Prolific point producer.
Sam Dickinson.
I'd actually like to watch him. I haven't heard much about him. How's he been?
Sam Dickinson?
Yeah. He looked like an NHLer at the Memorial Cup last year.
Yeah. World Juniors.
And Mem Cup.
Yeah.
Lastly, today, Canadian film star, dare I say superstar, heartthrob, Ryan Gosling. Been doing it for a long time now. Turns 45 years old today. His best movie. This is a tough one for me. I had it narrowed down to 2. And I go with the a little bit more of a thinker type film. I'll go with The Big Short. I think it's an excellent movie. I thought he was very good in it. A little bit of humor mixed into the educational side of it, explaining, the 2008 housing collapse and stuff. Really good movie. I thought he was excellent.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Like when I think The Big Short, I'm thinking Christian Bale, no?
Steve Carell with a role. Like there was a lot of big names in it, but
Christian Bale, yeah.
Gosling was one of the guys that kind of like was on the predictive side of it because he's sitting there in the boardroom with everybody and explaining this is what the numbers tell us, and this is pretty funny and a slide of some racial humor. He's like, see this guy? This is my numbers guy, and it's just the Asian guy sitting at the end of the bench and pretends like he can't speak English even though he's American and all this stuff, but it puts on a better front. So like I said, some humor mixed in. My second option here, I guess I'll give you guys a chance to say before my other choice for his top role.
Go ahead, Schlemmer.
I think the only other option is The Notebook, no? Wasn't that the one that made him famous?
What about Remember the Titans?
Oh, that's a good one.
Where he was an absolute liability at cornerback.
That's even further back.
Took himself out, right?
Yeah, rightfully so. But no, that was neither of those were my choice for second.
Well, when I think Ryan Gosling, I think The Notebook.
You watched that a lot in your house, Schlemmer?
No, I think it came out right when I was around like high school kind of age. Like that was the heartthrob movie. Yeah.
Isn't that one like the Seinfeld when I think it's Elaine screaming at.
No,
Isn't it?
That movie came out way after Seinfeld.
I thought she's in the talking about it.
2004.
Yeah,
okay, maybe that's because that's what's his name, Sparks.
I don't know.
Nicholas Sparks.
I was in high school then, grade 11, 2004.
Well, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm going with Barbie.
Oh yeah, Kevin, I'm sure you've seen it.
I have never seen Barbie. No. What I'm just kind of looking. I think a lot of people say that La La Land is his best.
Yeah.
Did he win an Academy Award for that?
A lot of
the movie sort of did.
A lot of Drive too. I saw Drive. I didn't think that was any good. You see that one?
I don't know if I've seen Drive.
It's different.
Josh, our in-house cinephile, just at wit's end here. My choice for the second best is Crazy Stupid Love, which I thought is a very funny movie. Also with Steve Carell. The mix-up, he's dating Steve Carell's daughter, and they don't, even though they're buddies and they don't know it. It's like it's another rom-com, but I think it's hilarious.
Why is Josh losing it over there?
Because there's clear. I mean, yes, La La Land did almost technically win a Best Picture Oscar. Emma Stone, shout out, Best Actress in that movie. But Ryan Gosling's best movie, and it's not even close. It clears. I love Crazy Stupid Love, but it's The Nice Guys. Him and Russell Crowe play private detectives in the 60s.
And it's called what?
The Nice Guys.
Okay.
2016.
Super good, super funny. He's just such a nitwit through the whole thing.
Investigating a missing girl and the mysterious death of a porn star.
Yeah. Margaret Qualley.
Oh yeah.
One of her first movies.
Hey, Barbie's ranked 5th on the list I'm looking at.
And what you just Googled best Ryan Gosling movie?
Yeah. They're having the time of their lives in a seemingly perfect world of Barbie land.
He was just Ken, man.
He's just Ken.
There aren't any movies old enough for Kevin to like them.
No.
Well, remember the Titans.
Oh, that's true.
And he was a pretty
you're a pretty big fan of that one last
tertiary
week.
Cat Dad is right. I was thinking English Patients. The English Patient.
Oh, yeah, that's the one
That's
Elaine
is
all
like,
over.
yeah. Thanks for that, Cat Dad. Rockford texted in and said Schlemmer's favorite player in the league. How good would Zadorov look on Edmonton's blue line?
I'd bring a little toughness, that's for sure.
Yeah. Man, did he go after Schaefer there last week?
Yeah. Matthews last night.
So you think that is what you call accidentally on purpose?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the hit. He just kind of caught him blindside. He's just trying to finish.
Yeah. Coach Al says the football, remember the Titans. Yeah, he didn't have a big role in that movie at all, really, Duke? Or
no. Like
he's a good dancer.
That's right. Yeah, when he's one of the first white guys to kind of become friends with some of the black players.
That's right. And what was the guy's name? The Rev. Him and the Rev.
Yeah.
Tight, right?
Yeah.
Or did the Rev take over his position?
No. Well, he did because Rev was the quarterback. No, that's
who took over? Petey.
Because he was the running back, but he kept fumbling, and so then he got benched. And then they're like, I'm going to try him on defense.
Yes, that's right. Wow. A lot of text, 833-401-1440. Russell Crowe, Sunshine. Coach Al says that was it. The Fall Guy is great. Deanocracy says, I'm the same age as you, Schlemmer. Saw The Notebook numerous times while dating different gals in high school.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Love it. A little 87 birth year. Yeah. Great year.
Corey says, yeah, Gosling still an absolute liability at cornerback. Didn't remember the Titans. Wow. We'll get to some of these texts when we come back, 833-401-1440. Also in the 10 o'clock hour, we got Brian Smith from the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they open up a 7-game road trip in Philadelphia tonight, taking on the Flyers. Puck drop coming to you at 5:30 Mountain Time. Stuart Skinner expected to start in net for Edmonton. Three of the games around the NHL. Tampa Bay hosting the Rangers. Sabres are in Utah against the Mammoth. And the nightcap has the Devils in Chicago against the Blackhawks. On the hardwood, full slate of games today, including the Bulls in Detroit up against the first-place Pistons. Knicks hosting the Magic. Celtics take on the Grizzlies. Cleveland in Miami. Warriors take on Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs from San Antonio. And OKC Thunder, they host the LA Lakers at 7:30. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, hard work makes for happy clients.
My dad's just been a hard worker since day one. His family came to Canada with 2 nickels, and he has made a pretty good name for himself. It takes a lot of dedication and risk to start a business by yourself. But if you keep going at it, you'll eventually make some headway. Never get ahead of yourself. That really rang true to me because we always kind of try and keep a pretty level head.
Cougar Paint and Collision, part of the Napa Certified Body Shop program.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:07 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you on Sports 1440. And David Schlemko is powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Hey, mentioned about the Harry Ainley Titans and Joe and Lowell Uguak. The Titans play in the 5A quarterfinals this weekend for high school football. They had 3 weeks off because of the strike, so there was no really practices and things like that.
That's tough.
It was very tough on these kids, but finally they're back and they're going to be a little behind schedule, I guess you could say that. But they played Notre Dame at Jasper Place Bowl this Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. Harry Ainley is ranked number 1 in the province. Notre Dame is ranked number 8. The other two finals or semifinals, quarterfinals, pardon me. One goes down in Raymond, one goes in Calgary, and then also another Edmonton team, Salisbury Sabres, take on the Notre Dame Pride, and that's in Calgary on Saturday as well. So just the one game here, 3 o'clock on Saturday for high school 5A football. One other note in the NFL, and it's a big one regarding the Arizona Cardinals. Adam Schefter reporting that Marvin Harrison Jr. underwent surgery for appendicitis. He's out at least this week, possibly longer. You ever have your appendix out, Schlemmer?
No.
Really?
Sounds horrible, though.
I had it out. Mine ruptured.
I was going to say, like, they can burst. Right?
Yeah. You can die.
Yeah. That's scary.
I was working highway construction. So it was a long time ago. Anyway, it was in the middle of the night. And I continued working for like with this pain. And I was like, man, this is unreal. There was this guy, I'll never forget his name, Jack Maximic. He was like a hardened man on the highways. I begged him to take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not taking you to the hospital. Like, he just came back from the bar, right? It's 2 a.m. And I said, like, I'm begging you. And we were in the middle of nowhere. We drove to Estevan in Saskatchewan. I begged him. And he's like, you better be sick or dead. Because he says, I'm not getting dead. He said, I'm not getting another 0.8, he said, because he was over, obviously, because I just came back from the bar. I said, God, you got to take me. And he finally did. And then I basically, they couldn't even find a vein.
Might have saved your life.
Well, he probably did. But man, it was a lot of pain for sure.
That's scary, man.
Yeah. Well, it's just stupid is what it was. I should have went days earlier.
So, like, what causes that?
No one really knows. Some people say it can be caused by like even eating greasy foods.
Really?
Like, some people say it'll trigger. Like, I mean, we had bacon and eggs every morning.
Yeah.
To get things rolling. And basically some people said that can trigger it. No, and your appendix, you don't even need it really, right? That's why they take them out. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Interesting. A lot of Ryan Gosling movies. Fracture from Brent. Nice Guys, IMAX says. B says, hey, David, did you watch it with Randy Z? I don't understand that one. Is this someone from your past?
Randy Z.
Randy Z? I don't know.
Oh, that's a girl.
Oh.
That's a girl I dated. I was thinking Randy was a dude. Yeah.
Randy.
Oh, okay. No, that was I think that was before high school even. Jeez.
Oh, really?
Who's sending that in?
So some guy just named B. Obviously knows you. Yeah, Randy Z.
Interesting.
That's your high school date?
I think junior high.
Junior high. Dub says Fall Guys, great. Good Guys from George from Clyde. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Ryan Gosling guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither. Not a huge fan. He's Canadian, I think, too, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he is a good actor. But he plays roles though, like a lot of rom-coms, or not a lot, but some of his biggest roles have been rom-com type roles. Which,
he's like the heartthrob.
Well, yeah, good-looking dude.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's why I like Crazy Stupid Love so much, is because to me it's more calm than rom. A lot of good laughs in it. When they all have you not seen this movie?
No,
neither. There's a point where they all meet at this barbecue, and Steve Carell figures out, because he's been friends with the Gosling character this whole time, and he's been helping him move on from his divorce and getting him back in the game. And then they all figure out at once that Gosling was dating his daughter, and then they're all fist fighting in the yard. And then this other guy, the neighbor's dad, comes over because his daughter was in love with Steve Carell and all. It's very, very funny.
All right, sounds good.
I would check it out. I would recommend it. I would.
Will Howard has been activated from injured reserve for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Duke. That's something you might be interested in.
Like Aaron Rodgers is getting benched?
Could you imagine?
I could not imagine that, actually.
Looks like Bucky Irving could be back in the lineup for Tampa Bay. They need him. Anything else NFL-wise, Duke, that caught your eye here?
No, I just was during the break there scrolling and saw the same appendicitis news that you did as well. I missed the Will Howard activation, so that's big stuff. Very big stuff. But no, I don't think so. I mean, hey, we're at Wednesday. We're just kind of waiting on injury reports from all the teams heading into the end of the week to make our final decisions. A lot of fantasy leagues, trade deadline week. I've pulled off a few maneuvers myself, both over the weekend and to start this week. Neither will probably help me in the long term. But
what'd you get?
In my super flex league, I had to upgrade my second quarterback between CJ Stroud's health and other options available. So I acquired Daniel Jones, played him on Sunday, and then just traded him for Caleb Williams yesterday.
I ended up with a big win, Duke, because on the Monday nighter, basically Jalen Hurts had nothing until in the fourth quarter.
Right.
The touchdown pass. So
that's because you needed him to stay under what, like 20?
Yeah, he got like 14 or 15, something like that. So
what's your record at?
My record is 6-5.
That's a big improvement.
Well, last year, just hang on a second here.
What?
Last year, I finished
spot the line
third. I lost in the semifinals on the Monday nighter, where a guy put up an insane amount of points on the Monday nighter, or else I would have probably won the league last year.
Really?
The year before, we know what happened.
The year before was the over.
That's the one I was saying.
And here's the problem, Kevin, is that is all you will ever be associated with in fantasy football for the entirety of, well, probably the rest of your life, unfortunately. You know what they say? Build 1,000 bridges.
Yeah. Actually, there's actually a different line than that.
Okay. Probably not. It's still probably equally inappropriate for AM radio.
Maybe more so. But I'm at 6-5. I'm sitting in a playoff spot, so I'm happy.
Babe.
I'm happy with where things are. I still need one more running back. If I could make a trade for a running back. B texts back and says she's my goddaughter, Randy Z.
Oh,
yeah,
great gal.
Went and played shinny. Sorry, Schlemmer. We went and played shinny with Dave a couple of times on the outdoor rink at Belvedere. Realized very quickly we weren't as good or as fast as we thought we were. He was skating circles around us at 15.
I think I remember who it is now. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. All right. Now that we went through all the Schlemmer's, high school, love life, and junior high. Well, it's better than the Dukes, in Mexico.
Well, I'm still waiting for a break so I can hear about some Dukes Mexico stories here.
Hasn't really said much.
No.
Kevin.
You got a nice tan.
Thank you.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Well, it's better than usual.
Like as if everyone is really, really bronzed up here mid-November.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking good.
You are.
I'm keeping my body right.
Yeah.
Quickly. I'll give Kevin his present.
Oh,
that I brought
really?
back.
Well, what about Joshy boy?
Josh has one too.
Okay, so you got a little.
So Kevin, I got this one for you. Here.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Because you're the local fisherman.
Look
So
at
there's a
this
big
coffee
fish on it.
cup from the Duke. Well, thank you very much, Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, that's where I went into town the one day and did some haggling with some locals.
Wow.
I got best price on these cups. And this one is for Josh. It has a turtle on it because he looks like a turtle.
Wow, that's very, very nice. Thank you very much, Duke. Now, again, the bar's been set, so when a guy goes, I'm going to have to get Duke and Josh.
Schlemmer, I'm sorry I didn't get you anything.
You ran out of pesos?
No joke. I had my last 50 American dollar bill. I'd spent so much tipping all week. We went to town on the second last day, and I had this 50 walking around. And as I said earlier on Monday, I could have spent it on weed, blow, or LSD, which was offered to me umpteen times walking up and down the beach in the strip there in Playa. But I spent 30 of it on these coffee mugs for my people here. And I was like, if I get one co-host something, I have to get everybody one. And then I have to get Declan something and Lota. So I just kept it to the guys that really picked up my slack while away. Kevin.
What'd you
Josh.
get, Donnie?
Well, spoiler alert, everybody got mugs. But each of them is unique to the person. I picked, they had a whole variety of, because they're all handmade and hand painted. I was specific about that.
What do you think Donnie looks like?
A lizard. And so and so on Donovan to the salamander. Or a gecko, I don't know, whatever it is, but a lizard.
That's great.
When we come back, we'll tee up tonight's Oilers Philadelphia Flyers game with Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network. That's coming up right after the break on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Cougar Paint and Collision believes in going the extra mile for their clients.
There was one elderly lady having a hard time with her car because it was going to get written off. She needed help from us. And so we went to bat for this kind old lady to save her vehicle with the insurance company. In the end, her vehicle was saved. Those are the kind of things that set Cougar apart from every other place out there. We really do go the extra mile. It's a really cool, fun, and relaxing place to be when you've had kind of a crappy situation happen to you.
Cougar Paint and Collision, part of the Napa Certified Body Shop program.
Jason Greger isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over $2 million raised for local charities and his Greger Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Greger weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Weekly NFL giveaways, spring specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates. Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tanks.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you on Sports 1440. We got the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick also here with us in the studio here at West Edmonton Mall, just awaiting the arrival of Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network to tee things up for tonight's game. When you look at this one, Schlemmer, I was looking at everyone always, special teams is something that it's one of the things that everyone gets drawn to right away. The Flyers power play is right now 9 for 46 on the year. 19%. The Oilers is 15 for 46, 32.6%. So the penalty kill for Philadelphia, though, it's one of the better ones in the league. They're operating at 88.2. So
Hathaway's a good PK guy.
Yeah. They got some guys, and Couturier probably,
really good. Yeah,
it
great
really
veteran player.
Yeah, and they're a team sort of. I don't know if you want to call them in transition too.
Definitely, yeah, a little bit.
They're on their back end. They got Sanheim and York, Sealer, Drysdale. I don't know about Emil Andre too much about him, and then Noah Juleson.
I don't either. It looks like the Andre and Juleson play pretty sparingly.
Yeah,
about
so
13
they ride their
minutes a
top
night
four guys pretty hard
for both of them. Yeah.
Couturier is a pretty good all-around player, eh?
Is he ever?
Yeah,
and he has been for so long. He's one of those guys that does it pretty quietly too, I think. But he's one of those guys like almost like a Nuge for me.
Yeah.
Just does everything really well.
He's got 2 goals, 8 assists, just 10 points in the 14 games. But as you said, he's that big. He's playing against the other team's best players all the time. You were mentioning about Trevor Zegras coming over.
Well, he finally got over his seasonal depression of Southern California. There, he gets to go live in Philly, where all the people scream and boo at you all year, and he's just lighting it up.
So, I mean, you played in Arizona.
Yeah, I got to tell you, bud, I don't get it. I'm not seeing on the same wavelength. Most players kind of think opposite, but I'm sure Philly is happy to have him.
How are we doing with Brian Smith here, Duke?
He should be joining us shortly here. I just
Okay.
had to resend him the link for the video call.
And again, Dan Vladar likely gets the call and goal for the Flyers for this one. Comes in with a 2.18 goals against average. His save percentage is .917. He's 6-3. Sammy Erson was a guy that I think they felt was going to be the guy moving forward.
Supposed to be the guy. That's why that Vladar, he's a really good kind of 1B kind of guy, backup, but he can carry a good chunk of the load.
For sure. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. The biggest sale of the year is on right now with the Jeep Compass. The 4x4 includes that 8.4-inch touchscreen. It's got the keyless entry. It starts at $34,900 only at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome in Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network. Morning, Brian. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer David Schlemko. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so, two teams here that maybe the Oilers' start is not what a lot of people expected, but what do you make of the Flyers' start to the season so far, Brian?
Well, it's been, I think, along the same lines, maybe better than some people had expected. It's a big season of change here in Philadelphia because the coaching staff is completely different, with the exception of our goalie coach Kim Dillaball. He was the only guy back from last year. So from the very beginning, it was kind of like starting over. And the Flyers had made a lot of moves at the deadline last year that got rid of, we saw some guys leave that had been here for quite a while. So even at the end of last year, you could start to feel the change kind of rolling in. And, this off season with the coaching change, just really kind of turned the page, if you will, onto a new chapter. So, coming in, you don't really know what to expect, I guess, other than what you see on paper. But so far, everything has clicked really well for the Flyers. I believe the Dan Vladar has played better than they expected. Trevor Zegras is back to his old self. So that's been a huge help. And so it's been, like you said, a good start and a year that they needed it, because out here in the East, everybody's neck and neck right now. It's been a great start for a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference. So fortunately, the Flyers have been able to stay with it so far.
Have slow starts to games been a problem for the Flyers this year, Brian?
I think there have been some games where there have been some slow starts. I personally, when I look at a start like that, there's games you come out where the team's slow. You can tell they're slow. They're skating through quicksand, stuff like that. We've had a couple of games recently, though, where we've come out and we've had what looks like a slow start, but for me, it's kind of what the other team is responding to. When they were in Minnesota the other day, the Wild were coming off of that game where they had that really weird overtime loss where the goal was pushed off and the goal counted anyway. We've had a couple of games too where we're playing teams that are coming in angry, and so I'm never really surprised when a team like that has a good first 10 minutes, but there have been a couple of times this year, really at the end of what was the six, really a 5-game homestand, but we played 9 out of 10 at home, and it felt like it was time to get on the road a little bit. The last couple of games of that homestand weren't great, didn't have great starts, and really didn't have great finishes either. So, but it's been a pretty motivated group overall throughout the year.
I just want to ask you a little bit more about Trevor Zegras, Brian. We were joking a little bit right before you came on. He finally got over the seasonal depression of Southern California. I got to be honest. I didn't see this as being a great fit. Just just historically, the identity of the Flyers being a kind of a hard, meaty kind of team, and he's come in and he's had great success. How's he been able to do it?
Well, it's interesting sometimes how these guys can kind of mesh together in certain situations. For us watching from afar, we don't see the West all that often, but it kind of felt like Trevor had worked his way into a situation where it was a square peg in a round hole because he had the injuries, and then he comes back from the injuries, and now you've got a new general manager there and new coaches, and okay, what's the direction here? So we kind of thought that he might be revitalized a little bit. One of the big things I think is a little underrated for him coming out here is being reunited with Jamie Drysdale and also with Cam York, who he's really good buddies with from the U.S. national team time. The Drysdale Zegras thing was.
Oh, I think we might have just lost.
Oh no! Do we still have me here? Sorry.
I got you, Brian. Yeah, we got
you. Sorry about that.
No
The Drysdale Zegras connection was talked a little bit about here when we got Jamie Drysdale, and you talk about seasonal depression. Now they both seem kind of bummed to lose each other, but now they're back out here playing together again. And he's also really kind of connected on a level with Matt Michkov as well. He's a hard guy not to like when he's around the locker room. I don't think he now being around him day to day. He doesn't interview like he does, like he conducts himself on a non-interview day-to-day basis. So, he's been a great addition so far, and hopefully he can keep it up.
Brian Smith with us on Sports 1440. You just mentioned Matvei Michkov. What are you seeing from him this year, Brian, in the sense that maybe a bit of a slower start compared to a very good rookie season?
Yeah. I mean, and for me, that's not really a surprise. I feel like that happens a lot in this league when you get somebody like him that comes in that second year. Everybody's seen him play, they figured out some things, and he has to fight through it a little bit and kind of not change your game, but you have to adapt a little bit to what worked the year before might not be working this year. It has come out over the last month or so that he also had an off season where it wasn't probably the most optimal for him in terms of training. He had a bit of an ankle injury, and then the other night he was talking with some of our writers, and he doesn't seem like he was on the ice much this summer, which had been kind of the opposite with him in the past. He had been a guy that did all his training on the ice, but was never really around a weight room until he was 17 or 18 years old. It doesn't sound like. It's always a little bit of a mystery what goes on over there in the KHL, but it's something that he's been working through now since he's been back here. And last week in Montreal, we had practice there the day after the Montreal game, and you could tell he was frustrated. Things weren't going right in power play drills and in regular drills, and he was just frustrated. And so when he got that goal in Nashville, it was kind of like a little bit of a weight was off of him, and hopefully that just kind of keeps going now, snowballs a little bit, and he starts to get back to what he was doing last year.
What
about Jamie Drysdale, Brian? I know you mentioned him earlier, talking about Trevor Zegras. Here's a guy who was really, I feel like, expected to do a lot of big things, kind of coming out of junior. Now I know he's playing a lot of minutes. He's playing 22 minutes a night. But are the Flyers expecting him to maybe take another step and pick up the offense a little bit as well?
Yeah, I think so. And again, for Jamie, it was the same kind of thing, dealing with some injuries and stuff like that, and coming over here in the middle of a year under some strange circumstances. But I think both you'll see both him and Cam York, and almost kind of across the board with the defense kind of flourishing, I think, under the current coaching staff. The focus on for the last couple of years here has been playing the game better defensively, and obviously everybody needs that. But there really wasn't a ton of focus on getting offense from the defensemen, things like that. The new coaching staff has put in some pretty specific offensive systems with some specific roles for the D, and I really think that's helped both him and Cam York, and really across the board with these guys knowing what they're expected to do, when they're expected to do it, where they're supposed to be with and without the puck in the offensive zone. And so the hope is that will help them all flourish as well. And for Jamie, he's had a pretty solid start, and really has been taking on some more minutes because the Flyers have moved to a little bit more of him and Cam York on the power play, because they're trying to get Travis Sanheim to not play 30 minutes a night. And that has been kind of the way they've done it, is by moving some power play time to some other guys. So again, it's been a good start for him, and we hope to see it continue.
Brian Smith from the Flyers Broadcast Network, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show with David Schlemko. I'm assuming Dan Vladar goes tonight
yes.
for the Flyers. What's he been like? He's got some really good numbers here, but how good does he fit in here with Philly?
He's been a pretty solid fit in a role that the Flyers really hadn't had since Carter Hart departed, and maybe even before that, because at the time Sam Ersson was in his first full NHL year, and all of a sudden almost all the goaltending duties fell on him. Last year, the Flyers were able to get Ivan Fedotov over from Russia, and then later on Alexei Kolosov came over. But both of them were in a situation where they really needed to have some time in the American Hockey League, and Flyers just didn't have that luxury. Bringing in Dan Vladar puts them in a situation where I think you're going to see this throughout the year, of having a really good tandem in net. I'm sure each guy is going to carry the water for stretches of time as the season goes on, but Dan has come in and really settled the position organizationally. And the other thing with him too is that last year especially, I haven't looked back further than that, but when he was in Calgary last year, he got a lot of the quote unquote bad starts, second half of back-to-backs, starts after travel, things like that, where they were trying to give the starter a rest. And here it's he's got a little bit better travel, and then he's had more of the just the number one, if you will, games. Plus Sam was out with an injury for about 10 days, so he ran with it there as well. And even when Alexei Kolosov did play, it looked a lot sharper than he did last year, because he's been playing really well down in the American Hockey League. So he really has come in and stabilized the position for the Flyers that has been a little bit wonky for the last year and a half.
And how about Sanheim? You mentioned trying not to play him 30 minutes a night. He's obviously the rock back there for the Flyers decor. Do you see him slotting in that starting six on the Olympic team there? I know he's going to be in tough with guys like Harley, Shea Theodore, but I'm sure he's incredibly motivated to make that team.
Yeah, he definitely is, I would say. And it's I'm sure it's a big help that Rick Tocchet sees him every day, but
Sure.
where they're going to go with that, it remains to be seen. But I felt like, just watching from afar a little bit, because a lot of the folks that work in the league kind of went on vacation during Four Nations, but I felt like he turned some heads at that tournament, that he played a little bit better than a lot of folks expected him to. So hopefully he gets another shot. Here in Philly, he really turned a corner a couple of years ago. He actually was, reportedly almost traded to St. Louis in a deal that ended up getting blown up by a no trade clause coming the other way. And since that trade, he's turned into almost a different player. And a lot of it had to do with the previous coaching staff that was here. I think empowering him and helping some things in his game. And now it's moved on to the group that we have now, doing even more of that, because we've had two really good defense coaches here, both in the last group and in this group. And so they've both helped him in their own way.
How's Rick Tocchet been to deal with, Brian?
Oh, Talk is Talk. He's great. He's a very, very personable individual, as I'm sure you all know. We actually had him here in the market doing TV about 15 years ago, I think it was now. In between jobs, I think it was between Arizona and Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So we had we touched base with him a little bit in the past, but he's a guy that comes in and really tries to relate to everybody, and he relates really well to players because he played so many games. He is a former Flyer, but when he came in to take the job, he had been gone from here for basically 25 years since he last played here. He had never worked in the organization, so really a different approach, really a new thing, despite the name kind of being attached to the franchise. He's been fantastic to deal with, and I think the group really respects him, and he's a guy that will tell you the way it is when he needs to tell you that. And other than that, but regardless, even then, he's always 100% behind you. So he's really been a great addition so far.
Hey, Brian, excellent stuff. Really appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the game tonight, and maybe we'll chat soon. Thanks for
all right,
doing this.
guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Brian Smith, Flyers Broadcast Network, and the game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where again, big sale right now on the Jeep Compass. It's a 4x4. It's starting at $34,900, only at stalbertdodge.com. Yeah, I mean, Rick Tocchet, that's a Flyer. Maybe this team isn't like, and it's a different time. We all know that.
Yeah.
But
still always think like the Flyers.
Those big bad Flyers.
Yeah.
That, used to call it the Philadelphia flu, right?
Yeah.
Right into the
Philly
we
flu.
were talking about that with Speck there, and it's like a long time ago. But man, they were tough teams that they had.
Broad Street Bullies.
Yeah. When you think about guys like that played in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, Rick Tocchet's probably at the top of the list as far as like being loved by both teams, which is not often. Pittsburgh and Philly they hate each other.
Right.
I mean, maybe Mark Recchi, another one.
Yeah, true.
That would have played in both. I'm just off the top of my head. Those are the top two guys I would say. But man,
that's like playing in like Edmonton and Calgary.
It's kind of like
Vladdy Daddy,
like Vladdy, and there's not a lot of guys that have done it.
Yeah,
right? And it's just
Chris Russell.
Yeah, Russell. I think Stevie Stais. No, did Stevie go for a little bit? Yeah, Stevie.
I think he did.
Yeah, but not a lot. Not a lot for sure. Grant Fuhr.
Yeah,
yeah. Smith, Talbot. There you go. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts and wrap up the show. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko, the Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick. All on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a newer used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I've got to get 2 cheeseburgers, medium fries, and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. Hey, maybe I'll eat 1 cheeseburger right away and save one for later. Maybe I'll stack them and eat them both at once. Options. Oh, delicious, delicious options.
So 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a 2 cheeseburger meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Cougar Paint and Collision believes in going the extra mile for their clients.
There was one elderly lady having a hard time with her car because it was going to get written off. She needed help from us. And so we went to bat for this kind old lady to save her vehicle with the insurance company. In the end, her vehicle was saved. Those are the kind of things that set Cougar apart from every other place out there. We really do go the extra mile. It's a really cool, fun, and relaxing place to be when you've had kind of a crappy situation happen to you.
Cougar Paint and Collision, part of the Napa Certified Body Shop program.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take 1.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love? With no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year.
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1045 in Edmonton. Perplexed Oiler fan text in. Looking at the numbers on goals on teams, man, do we suck. Why did we get rid of Perry? Got 7 goals in 11 games. He's been giving LA a big boost. Sharks are beating us. Man, I'm sure that probably won't last. Perplexed Oiler fan writes in. It's not looking good, he's saying. I don't like the team chemistry either that Bowman's built. That's what he says.
I mean, how is it? I don't know. How is the team chemistry? Like the core is not really any different. I think the depth guys aren't really bringing much right now. Like how patient can you really be with like Tomasek, Howard, Savvy, all these guys that are first year guys and not really doing much?
Well, and then again, like when you had the Colorado game, your fourth line was Tomashik, Savoy, and Howard. Like that's like, I mean, and if you think about it, yes, Nathan McKinnon had a big game. Makar had a couple goals. McKinnon had 4 points. But look at the guys that beat him that night too. Like, I mean, it was Parker Kelly had a couple.
He had a good game.
He's a really good player for a fourth. That's your fourth line guy.
I was just gonna say like that. That's your fourth line guy in a role, like with
And he
intention,
knows.
not just like, oh, these three young guys are struggling.
Throw 'em
Let's
together.
chuck them on the fourth line together and play them 7 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Drury had a big game. That other guy, Brindley, Brindley's a guy that's 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
And those guys were getting to the areas where the others don't want to go to.
Yeah. That's a good point.
We've used that phrase. You bring it up almost every show, Lemmer, boxing out. Why do the Oilers have so much trouble committing to that part of their game?
I don't know. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind that Mark Stewart's the one running the D now and that he made a career on doing those exact things, just being hard, making the front of the net a hard place to go, just always making like the strong, safe, steady play. And you would just think that a little bit of that would rub off on the Oilers T course.
But he's had to have said this.
Yeah. You'd think so, right?
On a daily basis, you guys got to be better at this. And it's just
and then like that takes me back to like Brant Myers said last week was like that it's got to come from the boys. It's got to come from your teammates, and maybe that carries a little more weight.
Yeah. Mizey said he wanted to sign for one game, eh? Did you hear? He said,
Yeah.
Sign me for one game. He says, I'll fight on the first shift.
Yeah, I'll go do something crazy.
Mizey.
A beauty.
MTR texts in about the 49ers. Boy, oh boy, who cares anymore? He says, Duke, how about that? Because I told MTR he's lucky that Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing. Who cares anymore? The defense is basically the Bengals defense at this point. Man. Duke, so we got to look at that pick for tomorrow night. Have you thought about it?
Oh, I've thought about it, Kev.
A lot of points for a divisional game.
It occupies my mind constantly.
Does it? I don't think that's true.
Well, since I saw the line, 13.5 points, yikes. That makes it really tough to take the Patriots. But hey, the Jets played hard last week after trading away their two best defensive players. And they put up some points on a very good Cleveland defense, arguably one of the best in the league. And yes, Justin Fields would have had a total of 12 yards passing if it wasn't for a 50-yard screen play. The Patriots are good. I don't know if I'm ready to put them in like full Super Bowl contender mode, but they have the inside track to win the East and the AFC. Drake May's playing an MVP level in his second year. Right now, if I had to make a choice, this isn't my official pick, but I think I'd be taking the Pats, even though I'm a huge proponent of that's too many points in a divisional game.
Yeah. Tonight, I believe the Cy Young Award winners get announced in Major League Baseball. I think it's at 5:00, but I'm not 100% sure.
That would make sense.
Who you got?
Well, I mean, like last year was more clear cut. Skeens and Scooble won last year. It was more clear cut. This year, I mean, Scooble obviously had another good year, but Garrett Crochet had a really good year in Boston. And in the NL, I mean, maybe, and you don't count the playoffs, but Yamamoto had a pretty good year, obviously. And Skeens, did he come back? Well, they never score any runs for him in Pittsburgh anyway.
So you can't count the playoffs, but they don't name it till after playoffs.
Right.
I don't really like that.
Yeah, the major leagues of baseball take like their awards and everything that's the worst about what all the other three major leagues do, and they just roll it all into one and do it where they announce it all in advance. Don't do anything like in like an off date or in the World Series announce it or anything like no. Let's wait until baseball is completely essentially out of everybody's mind, because there's college football, there's college basketball, plus the pro level of each of those in hockey. And now we're going to announce these awards. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Paul Skeens went 10-10 this year. Check this out, Duke. His offense provided him with 11 runs of support in those 10 losses.
Oh,
total.
His ERA was better than a half run, lower than the closest guy. Next, he was at 1.97. His whip is off the charts. It's under 1 as well.
10-10.
But you know what? If you look in the NL, a couple other guys Chris Sanchez had a really good year too in Philly. So I don't know where the voting's going to go in this one because of Skeens and again, just those numbers are off the charts.
I think Skeens is borderline unanimous winner in the National League. And in the AL, I think Skubal probably
could
goes
be just
back
to back. So both of them back to back.
Yeah.
Again, Crochet had.
Oh, he's
really
very
year.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Does that ever happen? Both leagues back to back?
Yeah. Well, Bob Gibson won about 75 years in a row. But the other guy in the American League is Hunter Brown. He would be on the outside looking in here.
Oh, for sure.
Sanchez, Yamamoto, and Skeens. So I could see, again, being back-to-back for both guys.
Did you take any issue, Kevin, with John Schneider finishing second?
I was just going to
the
mention
American League Manager of the Year voting.
I was gonna mention that to you, Duke. That's your buddy, your guy. You guys, you're cut from the same cloth.
I've had several different people tell me that we look alike.
I think you do too. You guys, well, you got the eyes that you know those kind of slanty eyes when you pull your hat down and the sun's in your eyes.
Right.
You just got to beard up a little bit more.
Yeah, I just got to. And the thing is, if I grew mine out more, it would get red like his is too.
And I want to see you pound more beer.
What?
Than him?
You want to see me drink more beer?
Exactly.
I don't think that would be conducive to the success of the program.
I don't know.
I'll leave that to Josh. He can be the resident beer pounder these days.
Riggs says, what about Peralta from Milwaukee? I don't think he's one of the finalists. Rig.
No.
So
no, you the three finalists were who you named. In the NL, it's Sanchez, Yamamoto, and Skeens.
Great Cup on Sunday, Schlemmer. Is that a big thing in the old Schlemko household and growing up?
Oh, yeah. Like back in the day, the Eskimos were always in it. Now, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, there used to be Grey Cup parties all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see them as much now.
Like I remember in junior, we'd always have a Grape Cup party. Everyone would be over watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have parties all the time. I remember growing up when I was a kid even.
The squares out.
Oh, square. Yes. The squares.
Yeah.
The first one I ever remembered, for me was 76 because the Riders lost that Grey Cup game to the Riders Ottawa. So the Riders, eh? Tony Gabriel caught a touchdown late in the game at the very end of the game.
Oh, I'll never forget. That's Keith Yandel, man. He'd never let that go about the CFL.
What?
That's why you guys have 9 teams. You can't have two teams with the same name.
Oh man. No, I'm not going to have a watermelon on my head this Sunday from MTR. No, it's not my style. But we're having a party actually on Sunday. Sammy's 5th birthday.
Nice.
I'm not kidding. It's going to be a big party. Good stuff, Schlemmer. Enjoy the weekend.
You too, my friend.
2 games in the next 2 nights for the Oilers. I think more than 6 points, eh?
I think 8-9 would be good.
Yeah. Duke, 6 points. David Schlemko brought to you by and powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochette T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne at 12 o'clock. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell till 2. Jason Greger show starts at 2, and they'll be going to 4:30. That's when the pregame show with Andrew Walker kicks in here with Landon Ferraro and Donnie P. Postgame show to follow. Puck drop just after 5:30 for the Oilers and the Flyers. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner is ready with Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals. Choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. Shop local at loca.ca. Hey, thanks everyone for listening this morning. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great texts and being a part of the show. Could not do it without you. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with our co-host, Ladislav Schmid. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back tomorrow at 7. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers. They open up a 7-game road trip tonight in Philadelphia, taking on the Flyers. Puck drop coming at 5:30 Mountain Time. Stuart Skinner expected to start in net for Edmonton. 3 of the games around the National Hockey League. Lightning hosting the Rangers. Sabres are in Utah. And the Blackhawks welcome the Devils into Chicago. Dozen games on the hardwood tonight, including the Thunder hosting the Lakers. The Mavericks, fresh off firing general manager Nico Harrison, host the Suns. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs taking on the Golden State Warriors. Celtics host the Grizzlies. Magic in New York against the Knicks, and the Bulls taking on the first-place Detroit Pistons. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports